J Squad.
We gotta find. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue.
All right. What is going on, guys? What's going on today? It has been, looks like the internet, as usual, or X, is turning into an interesting place today. After a post came out, I'll go over it a little bit. There's not much to say about it besides everybody screaming at each other online about it. But then we'll talk about some other things that I found interesting today. Chibi Reviews is complaining about the Texas bill. What else is it? And I wanted to listen to the video of that NASCAR driver, Camelot, or whoever he is, and see about his quote unquote cancellation. Though I don't think it's, in all terms, I don't think it's an actual cancellation. Maybe the video will change my mind, but we will see. We will see. So let's go ahead and pop on over here. Boom. There we are. There we are. I also had something new to add here. I went and got an updated Wiggler. I figure we're going to be talking about stuff on the internet. I better put on my gas mask for it. All right. So step one, I keep clicking all over stuff. It looks like the first post was here. A guy called It's Based. Wow, Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be wild. Feels like a bad joke. And then you've got Angela Browder, producer and studio director, Castina Meester, and Megan Sawyer. So I saw this and I thought to myself, okay, there's got to be more to it than just, blue-haired woke women. So a buddy of mine sent me this initial tweet. And then I went on and looked at all of these girls' LinkedIn accounts and kind of looking around to see what they've done. And these women have been in the industry for, God, some of them 2 decades into it. So this guy has literally no idea what he's talking about. Well, I mean, he didn't say anything but blue hair. So being a retard is being a retard. So I came back and posted just a couple of the things the women had did. Angela Bowden she was on Bethesda for 15 years, and she was a producer for Fallout 4 and Skyrim. So Christine has been with Bethesda since 1999 and has been the senior character artist since Morrowind. So this chick is one of the people that, did the character art for pretty much every Bethesda game that's come out, right? Or she's been in charge of it. Megan Sawyer has been with the company since 2001. She's an environmental artist. And I mean, she's responsible, and her team were responsible for the art that people were bitching was gone out of. Oh yeah, I've seen it mess around with Andy Pants. I don't think so, because Andy Pants and this guy go on stream together. Kamoji. I haven't listened personally to a stream, but I've seen clips of streams with both of them on there. So one way or the other, it's some kind of shill for Andy Pants. But yeah, I mean, both of these women or all three of these women are like veterans of the gaming industry. These aren't people, like, especially this one this isn't new for her. She's been the senior character artist forever. So if you said you liked any of the character art from any of the Bethesda games, Fallouts, all of those stuff, she's the one that's leading the team that does that. But of course, it never ends at just this guy, because this guy's post is this new? This isn't the original one. Oh no, that's mine. Yeah, this post went a little viral on here, and of course everyone knows who had to pick it up. Old Grums, Elder Scroll 6 leads. Odd on if they are woke scalds or not. Like, there's him protecting himself. Oh, I didn't call them woke. Boop. I didn't call them woke. It may be fair, but pattern recognition and years of DEI make gamers very cynical. AAA has bashed gamers and injected stuff into games for as long as that gamers are going to default to assuming the worst. And they are not wrong. At this point, AAA needs to prove themselves, and this is a situation they have created. Fucking Grums couldn't even take the 5 minutes I took out of my day to look up these women. And if he's such a veteran of the industry, he should know who these fucking people are anyway, right? He's he's supposed to be the know-it-all guy, the guy who watches the, who knows everything about the industry. Why wouldn't he know who these women are when they've been with Bethesda for fucking, what, 50 plus years together? Just ridiculous fucking stupid shit, like always. Nothing very, and then of course, our old friend Endymion, who can't do anything but suckle off the tit. Same with Giga Bear. If I had nothing but the hair dye to go on, I'd say 90% chance. But instead, I'll ask Grok if the people in the images present to you. No public evidence shows Angelina Browder, Christy. One search away to find the lady's portfolio, by the way, could have saved himself the shame. Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to find out this information from them. They have, their LinkedIn accounts are open. They're on the fandom pages. There's just all sorts of ways that you could you find out about these people. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Or Megan Sawyer's articulating left-wing views. Their professional profiles and interviews, like Bowder's on Bethesda's blog or Sawyer's for Fallout 3, focus solely on game development with no political statements found. Bethesda DEI initiatives suggest a progressive company culture, but include individual views remain unconfirmed. Speculation based on appearance, like hair dye, lacks substance and doesn't indicate beliefs without direct statements. It's unlikely they'll publicly express what left-wing views. Of course, I can't. My quick suggests the same. Sometimes colorful hair dye is just colorful hair dye, I guess. Wow, get owned by fucking Grok. Good job, bud. Yeah, because not everybody throws their political beliefs out on the fucking lawn. So that's pretty much what's going on there. It looks like there's a couple other actors that are getting involved. Frida has been saying some stuff about it. Woke Grok. That's what I keep hearing. Grok keeps coming up with things that say stuff like that. I heard a rumor that old Elon wanted to unwoke Grok, but it never manifested. But I'd figure I'd point those out because it's interesting. I think it's going to probably last into tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows who else is going to come out and say anything? I wonder if Smash himself has said anything about it. Nope, doesn't look like it. He's just got his normal. Oh, how is he already? She won this 2 hours ago. All right, I'm diving in. Let's see what he says.
Shout out to 8-Bit Eric for the heads up on this situation, because holy crap. If hypocrisy had a name, that name would be Alyssa Mercante. Apparently now there are people threatening to hurt me, I believe.
Oh God, here we fucking go. This guy talks about like Alyssa Mercante and her fucking harassment as if it's nothing that should be there. And I'm no Melissa Mercante fan. I think she should shut her mouth too when it comes to the threats, because it consistently, I've said, it only makes shit worse to begin with. But the fact that he's playing victimhood too, oh, I'm getting threats.
Or people who she does not associate with, I guess, if you want to keep it more generic, in her comment replies. And Eric tagged me on this, and I was like, whoa, what? He said, veiled threat on Smash JT. What does putting someone down for real mean? Weird. Doesn't Alyssa Mercante blame death/grape threats from people on our audience, guys? Now, for those of you that aren't caught up with the latest direction of the narrative, I'm pulling all the strings of everyone on the internet, which I'm not even joking when I say, if you read through the claims that they're putting forth, that's basically, in layman's terms, what they're trying to get across.
That's not what they're talking about. They're saying that you have done so much coverage that it has caused the harassment to continue and air say get worse. They're not saying that you control it. Now, is some arguments about what may be being done in your Discord, but I haven't seen enough tweets to fully come to a argument about that, right?
The judge. I know it sounds crazy, but think of yourself like a judge that doesn't live in this world and be like, oh, wow, this Smash JT guy must be pretty important on the internet, apparently, according to these aggressive stances that this accusation is taken. So they put that forward. And then Alyssa was saying that I'm the person behind all the things that have been transpiring. And not so many words, but that's the.
No, what she's saying is you have been the major front line of her harassment. That's what she's saying. Like you're trying to make it up like you are doing some kind of targeted harassment. But from what I've seen, that's not. While there's some of that she's saying, most of it is around the idea that you have constantly made videos about her. Some of the claims that we thought she had made first, like her sucking dick, were actually made by you first. And then, a variety of other things that have happened in case of it that have caused the harassment. Like having an entire page with the faces of the workers, so that everywhere they go, anyone who is in your side of it can find them and harass the company that they work for. Now, does that mean that you are the one directly controlling these people? No. But there is the idea of gross negligence in your coverage of how this is done, right?
The implication she's trying to get across. So she said things inferring to how, like, I am in charge and in control of the audience that I garner.
She doesn't say that. All right, can we?
It's basically I'm saying it that path, and I should be in charge of that too.
Okay.
Some very honest and make
Are
sure
you going to
do with? I have never encouraged that from day one.
Dude, Smash
to provide commentary about me.
Smash fucking yaps worse than a woman. He just goes on and on and on. Just fucking talk about what we're looking at. Smash is being an accessory and can't figure it out. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Is he continues to push and push and push at everything that Alyssa does. Alyssa's not a good actor in this. She constantly goes into these guys' streams and tweets these guys and stuff like that too. But that's not always the case. Like this particular one isn't her going after anything, right? This is 8-bit going through her tweets and finding this fucking dude, which spoiler alert, he retracts this statement.
Being very disingenuous and lying by omission. Again, we've covered this before. Harmful Opinions had a really good video exposing how she cut out the part of me saying, I completely disavow this kind of stuff. I don't want it to go this way, but I can't help but she cut what's happening to her.
I don't want to stay on this video too long because I hate talking about Smash right now. You can say that you disavow them, right? That's not an issue. Got it. You're not in charge of the guy who's sending her. You're not in control of the guy who's sending her dick pics, 100%. But you are still constantly making hit pieces about her every time you turn around. Accessory. That's the best.
Because she brings it all on herself with her own actions. She cut out the whole part of I disavow this happening to her, where I'm just explaining why it's happening to her today. I mean, I guess this is 24, but okay. He has made 15 videos about me in 1 week. She's quote tweeting herself. I'm sure he's at over 200 hours of content about me now. Does that strike you as normal behavior? And then she quote tweets Salmon Sask, which was an account that I believe was doxing me and was showing images of my kids and saying awful things about my family. And I'm like, that's a really weird account to associate with. It's very strange. It's very strange that she would.
Okay, if we're going to do guilty by association, then you're guilty by association of every person that has, like, this is the same thing that you say she's saying about you. Like, are you that dumb
quote tweet them and
All right, I'm just gonna read this. So the tweet comes up as someone needs to put this dude down for real. Gotcha. Let's see if he ever looks at the change. Probably not, because this stream was probably before it. Oh, then it looks like it's not isolated either. Fixed for good. Does Alyssa McConte condone death threats? Why is Alyssa continuing to push harassment? She's just pulling up more of her tweets. This is the same tweet we've already seen. So anyway, we'll pull this 8-bit Eric. See if we can find this tweet. Wasn't expecting to bring this one up, but wow, he even quote tweeted it 2 hours ago, even though down here the post is unavailable now. Thanks for addressing the tweet and getting it taken down. Honestly, this is the first time I've seen you publicly push back against any threats made towards your critics. Cabrutus did a response to his TES 6 tweet. Oh, did he? I'll look at it in just a second here. That said, he can't spend our time trying to police the actions of people who aren't us. No one can control. Oh, see, this is the fucking shit that I'm talking about. That said, we can't spend our time trying to police the actions of people who are around us. You just tried to tell her that she doesn't disavow fucking people and doesn't do that. You were the ones just doing this, and now you're saying we shouldn't do that? No one can control the internet, and trying to get into a battle, you're guaranteed to lose. Yeah, no fucking shit, dumbass. Unless someone explicitly encourages bad behavior, blame them for what anonymous strangers do is both unfair and baseless. Yeah, I agree. It is unfair and baseless. We could go back and forth all day about pointing fingers, and he's just not going to take the. I could just as easily pull up threats, insults, flat out. Yeah, we know everyone that has any kind of audience gets fucking unhinged stuff. Now you're just backpedaling, you fucking coward, that you got it wrong, and she proved you wrong so easily. So you said Cabrutus did? I saw Nure go about it. Where is Cabrutus? Oh god, I gotta be careful doing this. Can we go to his channel, please? Thank you. Oh Jesus, I'm not okay. Oh, here's the original one, TBS Rose. I'm getting worried. I see some people claiming that since these women are in Bethesda for a long time, this post is just a grift. The Test 5 is actually in good hands because of that. Okay, meet Pete Weeks. He worked in BioWare for almost 20 years, and he was the writer of the entire original Mass Effect trilogy, and also the entire Dragon Age franchise. He obviously was one of the lead writers behind Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and he got fired from BioWare after the disastrous flop of the title. See, being in a company for a long time, you're such a fucking moron. Oh, Jesus. See, being in a company for a long time and having good things previously doesn't guarantee that someone won't end up getting infected by the progressive virus and start destroying beloved franchises. Do your research before posting nonsense things. Maybe you should do your fucking research, Cabrutus. Here's the fucking take. Yeah, this is one fucking case, right? This isn't a fucking this doesn't mean all 3 of these women are going to do the fucking same thing. You're just assuming something based off of absolutely fucking nothing, which is what you did up here. Will Dragon Age 6 or not Dragon Age 6, Elder Scrolls 6 suck? That is yet to be seen. Starfield didn't seem to do as well. Oh, well, you can't even say that. Let's look over here. Starfield. I don't know how well that game did. And of course, SteamDB you take with a grain of salt. I mean, they still have 3,000. Starfield even sold a fucking lot. 330,000 concurrent players with 4,000 still playing the game. You can't say like they're not making games that players don't want. If they were involved in Starfield, Starfield is doing well, they're fine. It's just brain dead fucking retardation all around. So, while this fucking tard here, where is he? Weeks. In fact, let's look up about Patrick Weeks. Patrick Weeks. Patrick Weeks, BioWare. Isn't this the guy that stated he wanted black people to take over his his job? Yeah, I think this is him. Stanford. Patrick Weeks, Dragon Age. Yeah, I know they exited the studio. Author. Let's see here. Okay, so we'll already like see how disingenuous this kind of is. Hey, Benzene, what's going on? We're talking about shitheads. So this guy right here. All right, so this woman right here, Christina Minster, she's been the senior character design artist since Morrowind. Weeks was just a fucking writer on Mass Effect. He did additional design on Dragon Age. He was a writer, one of the writers. He was the senior writer on Mass Effect 3, though that one didn't do as well, from my understanding, as the others. I didn't finish them. I played 2, and then that was my last one. So he was just a writer, and then he didn't become a lead writer until, how about that? The DLC for Dragon Age Inquisition. What's with the beekeeping outfit? It's from it's from Trench Crusade, a tabletop game I play, the Heretic faction. I got oh god, what's her name? Hellbent to make it for me so that I could put it on when I'm, in the dredges of the internet. I've got my gas mask on. Thanks. Here, I can pull up the Heretic faction. Trench Crusade. Boom. Let's see if I can find the picture. I'm not going to look that far. But you can look up a picture of him. It's a pretty cool tabletop game, and I'm a big tabletop guy. So this guy wasn't a lead writer. I think most of it is banter. Hellbent is pretty cool. I don't know why people don't like her. I think it's most. Yeah, I think it is too. I like Hellbent. She seems to do like a lot of running around for the community, and everyone seems to like her. Like she's what, a mod in Queeman stream. She comes into Dickers all the time. She comes into a lot of those guys. So I've never understood the hate for her, but it's the internet. You can't like women. So anyways, we've been talking about this tweet here, and it looks like Cabrutus, in all of his glory, wants to make the comparison that this guy is equal to these women right here. This woman was a producer for Angela was a producer for, she became a producer around Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Skyrim being one of the most sold games Bethesda's ever made, right? Christina Meinster has been doing character art. She's been a senior character artist since Morrowind, so way back in the day. And then the other one, I forget her name, Megan Sawyer, is the kind of newer of the group. That look on her face, man, that they paused at is fucking brutal. But anyway, she does a lot of the environmental work, and she's responsible for like building Cyrodiil, or helping build Cyrodiil and other things like that in the game. So these women have all accomplished really great things in their games. And then he brings up this guy saying that this guy who's been a writer is responsible, was the writer of the entire Mass Effect trilogy. How many writers did they have? Was he the only writer? Because this says senior writer. How many? I'll pull this over here in case something weird comes up. How many worked on if one? So yeah, he wasn't the lead writer. He was just a writer. There was like a dozen other writers, which this is Reddit, so take it for what it's worth, but I can guarantee you I could look these guys up. Drew Kettman, Emmy-1 and Emmy-2 writer, lead writer Mark Waltz. Weeks was a writer, and he's still with BioWare. But like, there's there's multiple writers who are on it, and he wasn't even the lead writer until Mass Effect, or until Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which is a complete flop. Well, except for these two, which were also not very well received in Dragon Age Inquisitions. I don't remember either of the DLCs being very popular. He was just a writer on Dragon Age Inquisition. He was just a writer on Mass Effect 3. Well, I guess he was a senior writer for the first part and then just went back to being a writer. He was just a writer on Mass Effect and Dragon Age. So this guy isn't the guy who built the Mass Effect series. He wasn't the lead designer. Where you go into here, this chick was the senior character artist for all of the work. So Cabrutus, you're a fucking retard, and you could have done a little bit more research into the guy you're talking about instead of picking the one woke tard with blue haircut and saying, see? So that's what I think about that. Angry rant over. These guys are just as moronic. Like, if you want to say, if Dragon Age 6 comes out to be fucking horrible, then by all means. But they're putting Dragon Age 6 on the burner because, I don't know, Oblivion made it. They need another woke game, is what it comes down to. So anyway, that's kind of that little short intro into some drama happening in video games. So the next thing I wanted to go into was Chibi reviews, because I'm becoming a little A-log for Chibi reviews, and he is complaining about the Texas bill again. I guess at some point it was falsely reported that it had been downed by Democrats, and there's all these lolicons coming out of the woodwork saying that this game is trying to take away everyone's favorite animes. I don't watch many animes anymore. Kind of grew out of that, but I've kind of read over the bill, and that's not at all what it's saying. So we'll watch over this, and I might bring up some views and some things that they talk about as we go through. Man.
Let me explain. This is the bill in Texas that threatens to ban all anime. For instance, if you were to
See, already threatens to ban all anime.
watch something like Goblin Slayer, One Piece, Naruto, or Bleach, you would be labeled as a felon. You might recall this conversation earlier this year back in...
Okay. I've read over the bill, and I don't see it saying that anywhere. Where would Bleach and Naruto come into this thing? The Goblin one, I guess, I've heard is controversial, but
February 2025, where everybody was talking about it, and it gained so much traction that we even have Japanese politicians talking about the subject and closely monitoring this bill that is actively moving through Congress, moving through the House and Senate, and how it can have an overarching effect not just on the United States, but also around the world. Because the bill, for many people's agreement, it's unconstitutional. It will affect freedom of speech, freedom of expression, it will hurt cartoons, it'll hurt anime, animation, drawings, it will hurt a lot of things.
Okay, so it's most of the stuff that's in the bill the bill's been around. They're just adding stuff to the bill, right? This isn't going to limit freedom of speech, not by any metric available. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this up now. Protected. Some of the stuff that they talk about in this bill is already illegal, like federally, but they're putting, I guess, basically they're updating it. If you look at it, we'll start here. This is kind of a legislation board budget. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Is this it? Bill analysis. I'm sure what he is about was because bounding into comics, I think, said the bill was gonna ban anime. Yeah, he hasn't really looked into the bill at all. He just looks at tweets and says something about it. We'll start here. So here's one of the major changes. Is it here? I had a better image of it. Maybe that's it right here. This is the portion of the bill that's kind of changing, right? All of this stuff that's underlined, like visual material, has the meaning assigned by section 432 or 4326. A person commits an offense if the person knowingly possesses, accesses with intent to view, or promotes obscene visual material containing a depiction that appears to be of a child younger than 18 years of age, engaging in activities described by section 4321. We'll go down to that here. A1B. Regardless of whether the depiction is an image of an actual child, a cartoon, or an animation, or an image created using artificial intelligence. This is kind of a key one here. This is what the big change in the bill is. Applicable or other computer software. An offense under this section is stated that a jail felon. It's a felony. It's a felony. I don't remember where the exact portion of it was. And then it kind of comes into here, creating a criminal offense. This is kind of the demands of it. The bill would create a felony offense for possessing, accessing, and promoting obscene, this is also an important word here, obscene visual material containing a depiction of a child who appears to be younger than 18 years of age, regardless of whether the image is an actual child or created using artificial intelligence. The penalty would be increased to a third-degree felony in the case of a previous conviction, or of the offense of certain obscene offenses be increased to a second-degree felony, blah, 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 blah. So basically, the big add-in is they're adding AI into the mix. So no more porn, AI porn of children, what it comes down to. And what the Lolicons are trying to say is that this is going to destroy all anime because it says obscene visual material, would be my guess. But obscene in which I'm not a lawyer, so fucking maybe I'm completely off base. But when you're looking at obscene material to determine on if it's what is it called? If it's constitutionally protected, obscene is a big thing that they use. First Amendment, right? So like porn is absolutely has a lot of protections. Obscenity is not protected under free speech. I want to find law. U.S. Department of Justice. There was a site that I had. We'll go up here. So like obscenity came around a while back to determine like if it had free speech limits. Like one thing that will fall, child porn falls under unprotected speech, defamation, true threats, fighting words, obscenity, and will it not bring up obscenity? So, I mean, these various things are how they determine it. So even if this bill goes through, before someone can be charged for it, whatever material they have has to be proven to meet, the grounds for obscenity to not be taken care of. And I'm sorry, that's just the vast majority of anime is not going to be that. They use the Miller test? Probably jumping too far into this to determine it. Miller test. It's a 3-prong obscenity where the average person applying contemporary community standards would find that work taken as a whole appeals to the prudent interest. So if it matters in the context of what it's being used for, whether the work depicts or describes in a patently offensive way sexual conduct or extraordinary functions specifically defined by applicable state law, and whether the work taken as a whole lacks serious literacy, artistic, political, and scientific value. So this isn't something that's it's not easy to get something put in as obscenity, right? You could argue if Mercy, the rape game, had actually gone into litigation, that it may not have been protected due to obscenity, where an anime that has a chibi girl in it or a lolly who isn't, being gang raped or something like that isn't going to fall under that. But let's go back here and listen to more, since I went on another rant.
And so a lot of people are actively watching where this bill is going. However, you might recall a few weeks ago, there was an article I covered and many others talked about as well, to where niche gamers said that Democrats block a bill to ban Goblin Slayer and other anime in Texas. And the bill in question that was blocked, according to this article, was SB 20, which I'm talking about in this video. This article is clearly not accurate. It is not accurate by any means, because the bill just a few days ago.
Okay, but this is I've seen this channel, and I looked into reading a couple of their articles, realized they don't really do good coverage, and then moved on. So who cares about this article?
Effectively was passed by the House.
Sure.
And it's actually worse than you thought. It wasn't the Democrats trying to block it. In fact, the Democrats all said yes to the bill, and so did the Republicans. So both political...
Yes, they did, because it's about banning AI child porn.
Sides of the spectrum basically said yes to the bill being passed. 139 yeses, 0 nays, and 2 present but did not vote. So what this effectively means is it was a unanimous vote from both political parties to put SB 20 in action. So this article saying that Democrats were on the side of the people trying to ban this bill is factually incorrect. This was made back in the 8th of May, 2025. I wanted to point this out because many might remember I covered this topic and so many others did, but it's very clear that this is aged very poorly and the bill is still moving through. And so I don't know where this information actually came from. But let's get back on topic. So what is the bill? Why are people worried? And how will this affect you? So first of all, we need to talk about this subject right here. It has been filed. It was out of Senate committee.
We don't have to talk about this subject because all that's saying is the process that it's going through. I think most people basically understand that.
Then it was voted on by the Senate, then it was out of the House committee, and then it was voted on by the House. And as you can see by the dates here, literally on the 22nd of May here, it was voted. Unanimously, it passed. You can see the color codings here. If it's green, it indicates that the bill has passed.
Okay, yes.
Past this stage.
Yeah.
There's 2 more stages for it to officially become a law. For instance, it needs to reach the governor table, and then the bill becomes law. And where you're getting the overall date of September 1st, apparently, according to this, if the bill does pass the government table, the governor's table, it will officially become a law on September 1st, 2025, pretty much banning all anime in the states, which means that this can have an overarching effect, and this bill might be introduced into other states around the country and might cause other countries to follow suit with this bill. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself.
Okay. Is it though? Maybe. I'm still yet hearing anything, haven't heard him say anything about what this bill is actually doing versus him just saying it's banning your anime.
What I'm trying to say is that the bill so far hasn't fully become law yet. However, it's not inaccurate to say the bill hasn't passed. It did pass the House, and it is concerning, especially when you factor in that all sides, Republicans and Democrats, said yes to the bill, which means that it is not
You've already said that. Move on.
really a far-fetched thing to say that the governor of Texas won't sign it and say yes to it. It's very, very unlikely he's going to deny it. It's possible, but it's very unlikely when you have both sides agree on this subject. So, if it does theoretically happen, and it does become law, that's where things get even more interesting. It will obviously be pushed into federal court, aka the Supreme Court, and it will be, probably for many, many years, maybe months, I don't know, where it's going to be debated if it's constitutional or not.
Okay, why is it going to get pushed into the federal courts if the state unanimously votes on it? There's like no one fighting against this bill. Why would it be pushed up? I guess maybe there's some activists that have a problem with it, but their Senate and their House are like, yeah, we're good to go. Only thing left is for the governor to sign off on it. There may be cases that'll bring it up if they're like, I don't see this getting litigated all the way up to the federal level. I don't know.
Or not, and at this current time, it's appearing that it's definitely not constitutional. So let's get into the wording.
Can you show me how it's not constitutional?
And why people are actually concerned. This right here is what the Texas SB 20 bill has within it, and I showed this many, many months ago when this was brought up, but basically, at first glance, this seems like a good thing that the politicians brought up. They're trying to ban usage of AI depicting actual kids and images of kids being processed through AI. At first glance, this is a good thing.
It's not just kids. Are you only going to show this part of it? Obscene visual material containing the depiction that appears to be of a child younger than 18 years of age engaging in activities described by section 43.21. This is what I just fucking showed. It's about the obscene visuals.
Support that. I'm just going to be completely point blank on that. It is a good thing that they want to ban that because obviously that is very harmful. However, the bill also adds and tacks on cartoons, animation, and other things like that in sculptures, which means that it won't just stop at actual real kids being hurt, but just random depictions in anime, manga, and also in...
Yes, because we don't want to see images of fake kids being raped and had sex with in the media either. That's what they're talking about. Like hardcore porn, sex images, things that would fall under obscenity, not just anime kids.
In cartoons will effectively be banned, which is why the subject matter of you can become a felon just for watching Goblin Slayer, One Piece, Naruto, or Bleach, or other anime has been brought up.
Which has no actual bounds to fucking anything. Like, show me how this means that you're going to get banned for watching Bleach. I need an example.
Because of this. Now, in terms of optics, when you look at the overall captions of this bill, it makes a lot of sense why both political parties have, unanimously said yes to this bill, because obviously it does look bad if you go against this bill. It does, because obviously, why wouldn't you want to protect a kid? Makes sense. It does. It does. However, with the way the wording is and how loose it is and how obscenity laws are and everything, it could be really harmful to a lot of people.
Tell me how obscenity laws work, because I don't think you know how they actually work.
It can actually legitimately cause just blanket bans of anime, manga, sculptures, paintings. You get the point. So that is where the...
I don't get the point, fucking Chibi. You haven't said why this bill is going to do that. Like, how, what in the wording says that it's going to ban you or have you arrested for a felony for your Naruto collection?
The concern actually lies. So I understand why the both parties on both political sides probably unanimously agreed to this, because they might not have read the entirety of the bill, and they might not fully understand what anime and cartoons are. And let's be honest, there's a lot of old fogies within Congress, the Senate, and...
I'm pretty sure even the oldest people in fucking Congress understand what a fucking cartoon is. They still wouldn't like to watch a cartoon of a 30-year-old man having sex with an 8-year-old girl, because that'd be obscene visually.
House and Supreme Court, yeah, of course they wouldn't understand technology and cartoons and anime, etc. It's not meant for them. They don't watch what we watch, basically. So what I'm trying to say is that there is a lot of optics around this. There's a lot of people discussing about the AI segment of it, which makes sense why they want to ban that. I'm actually on board with that, because processing...
So he's on board with the anime, or he's on board with the AI depiction of children having sex. But when it comes to his Lolicon stuff, that's where we draw the line. Because, I mean, can you make the argument that the AI stuff isn't harming anybody? Because that's the Lolicon argument. The Lolicon argument is, well, it's not the real child. I was like, so? Neither is the AI one.
Real, actual kids in an AI generator, yes, that is dangerous. Very dangerous. But attaching other stuff associated with that is what the problem with this bill actually is. That's why people have an issue with it. Because, like I said, you could just become a felon for watching One Piece or Goblin Slayer, which is...
God, you're such a fucking retard. You're not. There's nothing you're going to do. Like, this bill is not going to put you in jail for watching One Piece, you fucking moron.
Obviously not a good thing. So, what happens next? Well, at this current time, the bill stages, it's up to the governor. We have to see what the governor is going to do. We got to see if it's going to pass or not, because for all we know, maybe the governor just denies it, and that means that it does not happen. It won't pass. But there's a very high likely chance it's going to, which then that means the next stage is the Supreme Court, which is not good. So we'll see where that one goes. But
where's he getting the I don't think we watched the same Bleach. Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, I enjoyed Bleach as a kid, or as a kid into my teens. And I don't remember seeing anything that, is remotely close to Lolicon. There's a little bit of the fan service stuff in there. Not as bad as I think some other stuff. But I don't know where he's getting that I'm going to jail for watching this stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to keep every...
We're also almost done with the video, and he is yet to describe anything that makes it so.
Everybody up to date, because I saw a lot of talking about this subject. A lot of people have been messaging me in the comments on YouTube, on Twitter. People have been like, Chibi, did you see that the bill passed? And so I did some looking, and here we are. So, for those saying that the bill has officially passed, yes and no. It's half and half. It's true and not true. But it's not a law yet. It's not a law. but it can be very soon because it's past a lot of obstacles at this point. Now, there's going to be a lot of
It's past all but the one obstacle it needs, and that's for the governor to sign it. And then it'll be a law on September 1st.
people going to be debating the Miller test and vicinity laws and stuff like that. I understand that, but we got to also remember that this bill.
Yeah, Kamoji. It's just straight up fear mongering for no other reason than he's afraid he's not going to be able to download his favorite Lolicon for fear of getting arrested for it.
Bill is being forced through by both political parties, so anything theoretically could happen at this point. We just got to see where it's going to go.
Anything could theoretically happen. What? I mean, right now there's only two things that could happen. The governor could sign it, or the governor could not sign it. You could look up and see what the governor's opinion of it is. I would guess, since he's in Texas, he's probably pretty for this stuff. Tend to be a little bit more Christian conservative over that way. A little bit more to the right. So I'm pretty sure this is going to become a law, Chibi.
But okay, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching the video and watching my content. I greatly appreciate it. I will keep you guys all.
Okay, I got I got really excited for that, thinking, oh, he's going to talk about lolicons and the Miller test and all this other fucking shit that could come into play with this law, because that's what really could happen, right? You get you get like this bill is not for normal anime, not even close. Any fucking body who's saying otherwise is a moron. Even me not being a lawyer, I can look at it and tell this is for child, material of children in sexual acts of some kind, right? So the only people who have to fear from this are people who are making porn of kids with AI, cartoons, or all that other stuff. And from my understanding too, a lot of the lolicon stuff that they talk so much about is already in federal law. I didn't have time to look at it up today, so I've kind of been running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But it's already technically federally illegal to draw sex acts of kids. It's not directly saying that in the law. It's one of those things like he was talking about it being open-ended, but it could be something that could not meet the Miller test, like they say, or obscenity law, and or become foul of obscenity law. To me, this act is a good thing. I don't see anything wrong with it. Anybody who tries to take this act and go after a normal anime is going to get shot down almost immediately. I don't see any lawyer being dumb enough to do that. On top of that, even some of the, I guess, riskier ones that have like rape scenes in it, I think would pass the Miller test. Like, what's the Goblin one that everyone talks about? That I guess there is a rape scene in there. Is that kid underage, or is that person underage? I know it's anime, so they all look like they're 14. But I don't know. Either way, I think there's an argument to be made for, like, I don't know how obscene the scene is. I don't know if it's like porn penetration or if it's just a rape scene that you see quite a bit. But it's still, I think, has a better chance of passing the Miller test than what they're saying. So here it is, about to be signed. Chibi has no idea what they're talking about. I thought that'd be a little bit more. I thought there'd be a little bit more meat on the bones, and there definitely wasn't. So I guess we're gonna have to move on to the next one. Boom, boom. Good old Chibi reviews. Oh, where is he? Man, I'm going through this content quicker than I thought I was. But I guess it's Just one of those nights. Boom, boom, boom. Camelot. So I guess there's Camel Cast, this NASCAR driver who I guess was an anti-woker. I don't certified comedian Camelot 331. He's a NASCAR driver now, and I guess he was going to a gaming convention. Camelot. Is this the guy? Like I know I recognize him from somewhere, but what the fuck is this? Join us tonight, brand new show, Ironcast. Why are there always like 7 to 8 to 12 of these dudes on the same show? It doesn't make any sense to me. Of course, he talks about it. So Camelot was going to be at an expo, Game and Geek Expo, which I guess is a new one. And he got a call from them, or he got a message from them. They would no longer be taking him on, that they had seen some of his comments or some of his stuff, and said, well, we don't want to be associated with you. There's a lot of people who are just not looking into it. Oh God, he does have a YouTube channel, guys. I'm pretty sure this is the GameStop guy. Oldest. Yes, this is the GameStop guy. So how I remember him, how he became famous on the internet was talking about GameStop, where he told about all the nightmares he had with GameStop. And you can see where he got a ton of views at that time, and then tried to do some other content that didn't work. So he just started going over GameStop's stories from other people, from everything. And like you can even see, he tried to do something different. And it was GameStop. The only thing that seems to do well was his GameStop videos. Did that ever change? Yeah, 100K, 200K. So this is where I know this guy from hearing stories on like TikTok and on YouTube and YouTube Shorts of this guy talking about what an awful company GameStop is. And then it looks like he tried to move on to other companies doing the same thing, but with Kroger. So why is this guy considered like an anti-woke guy? Did he... it looks like he started becoming a NASCAR driver. I don't know that I would have kept doing YouTube. Like you can see where he's just got like content kind of fell off. So why do geeks and gamers want this guy? He reads Reddit stories of the places. Yeah, that's kind of what I've gathered from it. And he got famous, and there he is going right back to GameStop. And that's all he's ever done, right? Yeah, I did see him on the Real Game Awards, but it's like, why? This guy isn't an anti-woke guy. He was a guy talking about stories of how bad businesses were. I found some alarming info and all content creator charity scams. So it looks like he jumped on the Gerard Davis bandwagon for a while. His YouTube has just never really done all that well, I guess. Occasionally, like he gets something like this, which was probably easy to make a lot of clicks off of. But all in all, he's not, like, he's a NASCAR driver. That's great. But he's not like an influential... He's not an influential gaming character. I haven't seen anything in here that's even talking about games. So he's on the Game Awards for some reason, and now people are wanting to see him at the GameStop stuff. So he ended up releasing the call. So he got this message right here. Boop. Spreading the love of, oh no, this is the expo itself. Where did the expo? Oh god, there's just so many. Why is he retweeting every single person? Keep the train rolling. Saturday. A lot of people pulled from the game. Okay, here it is. Here we go. Let's click onto this. Hi, Cody. Thank you again for your interest in being a part Game and Geek Expo, a part of Game and Geek Expo. We appreciate the time and effort you've put into your content and the support you've shown towards our event. After careful consideration, we've made the decision to move forward without your involvement in this year's show. While we truly appreciate your efforts, including the removal of one of the flagged videos, additional content has since surfaced that has raised continued concerns from our community guests and sponsors. Unfortunately, we've already experienced the loss of a sponsor and several other guest participants due to this situation. And it begins to negatively affect the overall perception and inclusivity of our event. Please understand that this is not a reflection of you as a creator, but rather a necessary step to ensure that we are maintaining a space that is welcoming, respectful, and positive of all attendees and partners. We absolutely respect your right to creative expression and free speech, but we also have responsibility to our broader community. So, and then he came in, posted this after he got it, saying, to all the people who bought tickets to come see me at the Game and Geek Expo, I've been kicked from the event. One of the vendors and photographers from the event said I am a Nazi, so I have been canceled from the show. Okay. Immediately with the said that I'm a Nazi, I'm being canceled rhetoric. I don't think this is a cancellation. And then, things start happening. It has begun. Shout out to Retro Wolf. Looks like he decided to go to the convention, a different convention. I've made a decision to cancel going to this convention, which is fine. This I agree with. If someone gets let go of a convention that you don't agree with, this is proper activism to get it dealt with. Hey, my buddy isn't going to go, so I'm not going to go. I'm not going to, I feel like this is wrong. The train keeps rolling. Saturn Steve. He shows this picture of him, but I guess he was told in the background. What is this? Did I just regret doing this? Let's do this. A retro gamer. Pac-Man Case said, hey sir, you may not know me, but I go by Pac-Man Case on YouTube. I've made the decision to not attend the Game and Geek Expo due to the controversial removal of yourself as a creator. I don't know the details, but I definitely don't support censoring free speech. Not sure if I was missing anything, but I just wanted to reach out if there was more to the story. The snowball effect. I'd like to know more to the story as well. Don't care about Smash. No, and then I guess here he announces to all those going to the Game Expo, we are T-minus 5-ish hours from devastating content coming out. Okay, he's posting that they're both one-party states. Let's see here. Timestamp 6:15. He begins to agree with me that the cosplayers and mentally ill are in power, and he has to listen to them, although he disagrees. I talked in the stream a few days ago about the rise of the mental... God, Jesus Christ. the mentally ill in niche communities as a need to fit in, which leads to canceling and violence. It doesn't. I also said that there is no shame in mental struggles nor wanting to fit in, just the dangers of the outlier. He says that all he cares about. Okay, this is just. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and listen to the call and see what is being said here. Boom.
Again, dude, I got fucking 200,000 followers. I get it. Like,
Okay, I'm already a little weird that it.
You're right, dude. As a content creator, again, dude, I got fucking 200,000 followers. I get it. Like, I get it. You have a lot of power there, man, and I'm trying to mitigate it. I don't want you to take losses on this. All right. So, like, and that's why, you know, I haven't publicly said anything about, like, who or what or any of that. I haven't addressed it at all.
Yeah.
I haven't addressed it at all.
Yeah.
But the only backlash I'm getting right now is just, like, from, like, you know, some of your followers from the Twitter situation and some of our and by the way, I just want you to know, the Carolina Game Summit people, they're completely not involved at all.
Right.
They are not involved at all. Like, they're setting up some Mario Kart tournaments, but it's funny because it's not funny at all. But
Who was that name of that?
like they're
Right.
they are, like, you know, some of your followers from the way. I just want you to know, the Carolina Game Summit people, they're completely not involved at all.
Right.
They are not involved at all. Like, they're setting up some Mario Kart tournaments, but it's funny because it's not funny at all. But yeah, they're getting a lot of backlash from some of the tweets, but yeah, they're not involved at all. But Cody, listen, bro, I'm not trying to, like, come at you and be like, oh, I'm trying to, like silence what you're doing. And I literally, dude, I'm a fucking small business, bro. Like, like, I'm not trying to take sides. I do not take anything from the left or the right or whatever. Like, I'm not political at all. I don't care about any of that shit, dude. It's just when we go back and we look at what's posted on our website, which is the code of conduct, and, like, that's what people are fucking trying to hold us accountable for because it's already posted publicly. Like, it says, like, no discrimination, blah, blah, it's all inclusive, and that's all it is, man. I would never, I would never try to, like, silence you and what you do, and you as a content creator. Like, you can say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Okay, so angry Canadian, what's going on? Yeah, released and leaked are two very different terms that people can't comprehend. That's fair. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so do we know what the incident that they're talking about is? Because I feel like I'm missing context to this very, like, subject. Like, what do the Carolina Game Summit have to do with it? What are the tweets? Let's see, you know, Caro. This guy sounds like he's groveling and he's, like, in between a rock and a hard place, but I don't know. Maybe there will be a revelation here. I'm gonna see if I can find more while we're listening.
I don't care. Cause that's you, man. And I'm not gonna hate you for that, but I don't know, man. Maybe
This organized sounds way too nervous talking on the phone. It sounds like he is really trying to soften the blow to Camelot. Yeah, I mean, this guy doesn't sound like the kind of guy. He doesn't sound like a business guy, right? He may just be the business owner who wanted to make this expo, and now he's stuck in a place where a lot of people get stuck, and that's the culture war that tends to fuck over a lot of people in the middle.
I'm just coming at at you as like, this is our first time, bro. This is a first time con. We have a lot on the line. I literally, my whole family situation is on the line for the shit. And I get it. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about the brand. I get it. You don't care. But at the same time, I'm just trying to like come at you as a man to man. I don't want you to make any sacrifices for like what you believe in either, but I promise you, bro, like I don't have backing like what you just said. I don't have that. I'm literally a fucking guy in Raleigh.
Right.
Like you could ruin me. I'm not clapping back. I am literally saying like, what can I do, bro, to like not. I don't want to fuck you either. I don't want you to feel disrespected because I would love to have you there. It was just that we were getting a lot of backlash from the local community, and it wasn't just like one person, bro. I would never let that happen for one person. We were getting a lot of backlash for just different things, and dude, like I watched the streams, man. I mean, it's not like it's not like hate speech or anything. Like, I get it. Like I totally get it. We're in the South, you know. We're in North Carolina. I just want to try to find a way, Ben, that we can vindicate this. But you're right. We did ask you to be there. Our team asked you to be there.
Okay, that's interesting. So they contacted him, and now they're saying that he can't be there.
So I know you're out.
Who? I mean, this was a NASCAR convention or some kind of like racing game convention. Maybe his rambling on is a tell that his hands are tied. He doesn't have the balls to say no to whoever was complaining about Camelot. Obviously, there are a lot of behind the scenes stuff we don't know. Yeah, I mean, it has to be someone who's got some big pull or something else. I wish I could see what these tweets back and forth was. It looks like the Carolina Games Summit place already posted a tweet about Camelot saying that he cleared up the air between them. So it doesn't seem like it's anything through there. But I would like to know where this started. Oh God, he's sucking up Jasmine Gold. Cody, aka canceled. Man, this goes on for like days.
Stuff for that, and you did promote it, so you're entitled to whatever, you know, you're entitled. And I don't want to hurt your brand, and my brand is shit, obviously, compared to yours. So I don't know. I was just hoping that maybe we could find like a common ground where we could figure out something that works for both of us. And I'm not asking, you know, for, you know, whatever. Like, I'm just trying to find a common ground, bro.
Right.
Chase is my buddy too. Like, he's my good friend, and obviously y'all knew each other, and you know, that's why you were brought into conversation. And we had a racing section, and we were like, oh, that would be cool if we had you know, like a race car driver or somebody. But that's why we brought you on, man. And with that being said, like, you know, again, bro, we're not like a big company or like anything like that. It's literally me, man.
Yeah, this dude just sounds like he's absolutely fucked.
I was trying to figure out if there was a way that we could make it not shitty.
Right. So, like, we'll go back to something you said. You said you don't pick sides, and when you say something like that, why exactly am I not going to this convention?
So the thing with the Carolina Game Summit is that Camelot fans / anti-woke bros went after them and complained about the situation to them. The reason being the organizer of the events, a different entity, doesn't have a social media account for some odd reason. Oh, so I've seen that happen with multiple things. So they got caught in the crossfire for no reason. Yeah, I've seen that happen a couple of times. I'm wearing an example of that with Trench Crusade and them having a chat in a server. So, I mean, that's a pretty common thing. But this guy, so they invited him to the thing, is what it sounds like. Then someone got mad. Some wokey or some politically derived person. And then they said that they had to kick him out. I don't know. It feels, if I was running the event, me personally, there's not a creator that's going to tell me who I'm going to have at the convention, right? But this guy doesn't sound like he's got a lot of backbone.
Well, the reason was, man, because the cosplay stuff that you were talking about, and that's like 30% of the people that come to these my events are cosplayers. And
So what did he say about cosplayers? That's what I want to know.
And they were that was what the part was like, that was like really like negating like how we could move forward, because dude, and it's exactly what you were alluding to in your video, is, you know, people taking sides and like harping and going off about it. Like, I mean, it's exactly what you said, bro. Like, they're fucking gonna make a big deal out of it.
Yep.
And I get that, and I totally get that. Like, I get what you were saying. I get where you're coming from, man. Like, I completely respect like your thoughts and opinions on it, and I'm not trying to say, oh, you're wrong or whatever. Like, I don't want you to think that this is like an attack against you, or like, obviously you don't care, but like you don't care what I think or what my opinion is, but that's why you have the followers that you have, because you have no filter. You just fucking tell it like it is. I get that, bro.
Yeah.
But I'm just telling you, like, man to man, like, bro, like, this is fucking everything that I put everything into this community. And when a big majority of it is like having issues, like, that's when I'm trying to like look, dude, I don't
Sounds like one of the main cosplayers or cosplay organizations got butthurt over Camelot commentary on the mental health issue rampant in that community. Yeah, he says a lot of stuff about mental health without, I don't know, some of the stuff he said is very generic. I mean, you could say that just about just any community on the internet. But so he said, by his words, it said like, what, 30% of that community? Or was it just, one huge cosplayer and he thought it was a large amount? I don't know.
I don't go left, I don't go right. I'm agnostic to politics completely. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I really don't. I just want people to come to my fucking events.
Yeah.
And that's that. And Cody, I'm telling you, that's literally all I care about, bro. I just want them to come. Like, our events are like, man, that's something that's kind of like something that we have here. Like, people that would never hang out with each other are there. And they're there just for the fucking games and shit, like the video games and all the stuff that we have. Like, this convention is something that just kind of, popped up here in the last, and we only did this in the last 3 months. Most people, they plan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's probably talking about cosplayers in general. I'm gonna see after we listen to this call if maybe I can find the video, but and where, at least the time stamp of where it is and what he said, or the tweet or whatever it is that they're angry about. I mean, okay, he said some stuff that makes you angry. I get it. Why? I absolutely disagree with the idea of the cosplayers, trying to push their weight around to get him taken off the ballot just because you don't agree with somebody. So in a way, I kind of feel sorry for this guy who doesn't have the balls. These events might just make anti-wokers less likely to be called to events if they're going to be this volatile. Well, I mean, it depends on the situation, really, with that. Like, yeah, in a way, it may make it that way because because anti-wokers tend to be on the volatile side of things, they would be the ones that are called out about it, even though it's kind of it sounds like it, fence sitting, but it's kind of a both sides of the problem issue, right? People are going to get mad at you for the things you say, but they can always host their own, I suppose. Yeah. Well, it sounds like this guy isn't even he's not trying to be political. He invited Camelot on, probably because he likes his content in one way or the other. And then someone else got mad about it and decided they wanted to throw their weight around to make this guy's income feel like it was going to be lost and he was going to lose his event. And so he made a knee-jerk reaction response, which always fires with, which always blows up in your face when it comes to the culture war. And now he's got the opposite side pulling their booths and stuff like that from it. So either way, he's basically been in a fucked situation no matter which way he went. I don't know what Camelot say, so I can't say how angering it might be. You know what I mean?
This shit out for years.
I'll go after anti-wokers and even wokers, though anti-wokers are a lot easier to go at nowadays, all day long for what they say, but I'll never call for deplatforming. I'll never call for them not being at event. Even with Smash's event that he's going to, I'll make fun of the event for bringing on Smash and thinking he's a major player in the gaming industry. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to send 1,000 emails saying that they shouldn't have him at the convention, that they're going to lose people if they go to the convention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is literally, I was just doing stuff in my local community, man. And, that's how I met Chase. And, like, again, bro, like, no judgment to you at all. Like, I completely understand.
And as for hosting their own, by the way, just a side note, the Real Game Awards didn't work out so well.
Where you're coming from. But you, bro, you got a big voice, and you have a huge following too, and I understand that as a content creator myself. But fuck, man, like I want to find a way that, like, and dude, I did not want to do that. I didn't want to send you that fucking email, man. Like, I really didn't. Like, me and Chase, we were talking, like, when the first video, and you took it down, and thank you for that. Like, thank you.
He didn't take it down. It's still up.
Very fucking cool about all this shit.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. No other YouTuber or creator would do that shit.
Oh, maybe he
would
did.
take a fucking video down. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, well, Chase is my friend. That's the only reason I did it. There's no other reason. So.
No, 100%. Like, no one would do that at all. I totally get that. Like, fucking creators, they say what they say, and that's their content.
Yeah.
So, listen, I get where you're coming from, man, and if there's any way for us to mitigate it, maybe we can't, maybe we can't. I just wanted to call you man to man because I sent you that fucking email, and you posted it, and thank you for, like, blocking out Chase and my, like, contact information. I appreciate that. But I just wanted to let you know, man, just man to man, like, if you want to stand on business like that, I get it.
It's funny to think how there's never a problem when Airbag goes to conventions, but anti-wokers have to cause havoc. It depends. Like, sometimes there can be cases where I agree with you with that. Like, I don't know that this guy caused havoc, though, Camelot. It just sounds like in one of his videos he was talking about mentally ill cosplayers in a wide range, and then that information got pulled back, right? Or got pulled and used to try and say that he shouldn't be at the convention. So a lot of pressure got put on the convention by somebody. I don't know who, someone in the cosplay community. I mean, there's also different cases. I think the thing that differs with it is when the anti-woke, I tried looking into that video. I don't know where it is. Hey, thanks for looking. It sounds like he may have taken down the video. That was the issue for his friend's reasoning. So we may never know what was actually happening. In this particular case, I'm on Camelot's side that he's kind of unfairly getting taken down. Though if it was this guy saying, like, you know, hadn't invited him on, hadn't said that he, you know, hasn't been talking like this about how he wants him on there, and had just come in and said, listen, man, we don't want to get involved in the culture war. That's how it is. You said some things that went against our, you know, TOS, so we got to let you go, right? Then, you know, the argument, I think Camelot's blowing this out of proportion. Obviously, it's not cancel culture. I don't care which way you spin it. It's not cancel culture. But it's not as big. Like, companies can make a choice not to run with somebody, right? That's up to them. But I don't know. So far, I feel for the guy who owns this corporation. I would like to know who the other party is, which we'll probably never know.
You know, as a man and as you know, your brand and your content, I get it. But I was just going to ask.
Yeah, I mean, when you say mitigate it, like what do you, like, what's on your mind? Because I don't, like, I already told you, like, I don't really know how we can mitigate other than, like, reversing the decision, telling the detractors to fuck off, and then post a statement saying you stand beside me. That's
dumb. All right, that doesn't mitigate the situation. That mitigates it positively on your side, right? So I don't know how big this other side is in this situation, but it sounds like this guy is damned no matter what he does, right? It doesn't mitigate shit. He's fucked one way or the other. It's just how bad is the fucking on one side versus the other.
And that's not going to really, it's not going to do anything. But what are you thinking? Because I mean, you obviously are probably thinking something as well.
Well, if you have money invested, send me the fucking invoice. I'll pay it. I'll pay whatever. If you had stuff that you paid for, I'll send me the invoice. I'll fucking pay it. Again, I haven't said and I will stand by this. We will never say anything bad. We haven't mentioned anything about any of this controversy situation at all, and we won't. But like I said, I will reimburse you for anything that you've already paid, and you know, that's all I can do. I don't know what else to do to mitigate it. I mean, you tell me.
I mean, that just sounds like fixing it for you, and then I just am fucked. I mean, that's what that sounds like, right? Like, that's it.
How are you fucked? Okay, yes, you're not going to this convention, but you will, like, you know, you can get picked up at another convention, right? Because apparently people are asking for you. So I get being pissed off at this guy for making the call. He is the guy who had to make the call, but he's getting fucked just as much, probably more than you are. You know?
Yeah.
What do I get out of this mitigation? Like, I mean, money's not a big deal for me. Like,
no, I get it. No, I get it. Well, money's a big deal for us because we don't have it.
Right.
So that's a big deal for us. Maybe not for you, but you're right. You already said it. I don't know, man. You tell me, bro. Like, how do we make this fucking right? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to make it right, bro. I don't want to. Again, bro. I like, dude. I totally get it, man. I don't want to disrespect you or do anything. This is just the event as it is. Like,
yeah, this dude's just trying to put out a fire with a thimble at this point.
Yeah, I'm that's it's like a peace offering. I'm trying to figure out how we can like make it right with you. I don't know. Maybe you don't know right now. I know we called you out of blue, so I don't know if you want to think about it and let me know. But I'm trying to make it right, bro. I don't want this to look and reflect like negatively.
He doesn't want. He knows what happens. You see it all over the internet. The culture war battle, I mean, we see it happening right now. The culture war battle has happened. Now that it's been named as cancellation, every anti-woker in the market will come after it. Same thing that happened to Camelot. The anti-wokers are going to do right back to this guy. And it doesn't sound like this guy is the issue.
Which it already is, and I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. But like we're not calling that. We're not like, oh, fucking Cody's not coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
we're not saying anything about it. There's no bad press on our end.
Well, I mean, to be fair, when you send me an email that says, people aren't comfortable with me being there because of the overall perception and inclusivity of the event, which is weirdly ironic to me. I mean, that implies that I'm a bad person. I'm a bad vibe. I'm a bad aura, right? And that's that.
Does it? I mean, I don't think that's what that implies.
Well, I mean, to be fair, when you send me an email that says, people aren't comfortable with me being there because of the overall perception and inclusivity of the event, which is weirdly ironic to me. I mean, that implies that I'm a bad person. I'm a bad vibe. I'm a bad aura, right? And that's where the issue lies. I mean, you say there's no negative press on your side, but I mean, the entire email is like, hey, you make people uncomfortable, which, to be fair, when you say stuff like that, it can mean some pretty fucked up stuff. So
what? Why are you bringing it to that level? Okay, this statement he's going over right here is kind of brain dead. No, yes, something did happen where he had apparently a large number of people who didn't want you around. It happens. He had to make the choice on how that was going to affect his convention, right? He made the choice to just get rid of you because there was this issue. There was another convention that had who was the guy that was exonerated from rape, the movie star Patrick Swayze, went to an event, and of course there was a lot of backlash that was sent the way of that event because of his history. You know, people, even though he was exonerated, whether he did it or not, the court said he didn't. So the convention let him on, but if you'll always be labeled as a rapist from that point on. I don't know the situation enough to say where I would stand on it, but they got a lot of hate. They kept the guy around, and the convention seemed to do pretty well. And one anti-woker made a really shit video about it that I got to enjoy. Or not one anti-woker, one lefty bread tuber guy made a video that I got to enjoy about it. So it's just about handling the situation. I think the better choice would have been to keep him on, unless, like, the reason I can't fully say the better choice is to keep him on is because I don't know the other side that was coming at it. You have to look at, all right, well, what's going to keep most people at the convention if I'm going to have these people leave, right?
People don't even know what's going on, right? Like, the people are messaging me like, what did you say? I'm like, no, I didn't say shit. I said the same stuff that I say on my podcast every single day. And there's probably people out there thinking that I've talked to a 14-year-old girl or something. Like, they have no idea why I was removed from this thing, man. Right?
No one is fucking going around asking if he talked to some 14-year-old girl or some shit like that. You're gonna have the normal fucking idiots who are gonna call you a Nazi. They're not as prevalent as you fucking think they are. And, go from there. No one's fucking calling you a pedophile because you got kicked off of Game and Geek. You're just fucking blowing this way out of fucking proportion.
Yeah.
So that's where the biggest issue comes. Like, there's people out there. It's like, damn, well, I wonder what this guy did. I wonder what fucked up thing he did. And I literally did nothing. That's the.
What you could have done is you could have shown us what it was that got you kicked out of there so people could make that decision for themselves on if it was worthy or not.
Issue is I just said a thing on my podcast like casually, which maybe it aligns slightly lean right, which I know is completely unacceptable, especially when it comes to like the anime cosplay furry community. But when it comes like
No, there's some pretty right-leaning guys in all those communities.
what it boils down to is I didn't do anything wrong. So that's why it's kind of like so to send an email that the entire body of the email implies I did something horrifically fucked up to get kicked out of this con.
God damn, I hate this fucking guy. This guy's making him hate him more, even though I don't think this was fucking justified. It's not horrifically fucked up. They think you said something that got you kicked off the podcast, or in what most people are wondering is who said that they didn't want you fucking there. I haven't seen anybody be like, oh, Camelot must be a pedophile because they didn't go to this fucking game, or they didn't go to this fucking convention because this convention doesn't want them. Which makes me think that your comment was a little bit more inflammatory than what you're putting on, since you're blowing up the other side of it, right?
That's where we're gonna have an issue, which is why it's going viral and trending right now, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, just I mean, literally, I sent the email to you, so I didn't send the email publicly to anyone else.
right.
You posted it, bro.
Yeah.
But again, thank you for not including.
I can tell you this much thing that guy made a note about, and he probably, that was manlier. I would push, if he was manlier, he'd push against it, is they quietly sent him an email. He's the one that blew it up on the internet. No one would have even noticed. So is he just baiting it for attention, or is there something more? Like, what is the statement that you made, Cam, that got you kicked out? So that we can come to an actual decision on whether we think it's worth it or not.
Like, the names and stuff involved with it. But I sent it to you. I didn't. We haven't made any public posts about it, so it's not like we're defaming you or it's making you look bad. But I get it. It definitely. If I read that email and I was a guest, I'd be like, "Fuck that shit." I get it, bro. Like I totally do, man. But
Right.
like the thing that you said, like the stuff that you're saying in your streams are, listen, this is the way I explain it to Chase. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck if you're left, if you're right. I do not care. If it's controversial, it's a problem. And that's where I'm hanging my hat on.
Right.
Like, it's controversial, dude. Like, I don't care what you fucking believe, dude. I really don't. Like, no, most people don't, right? Well, I'm not leaning like, oh, I'm letting some person persuade me into making this guest not come. Like, that would not happen at all. But what happens is people take screenshots and people record little sections of things that you said in your stream, which again, you're totally cool. I don't give a fuck what you say on your streams. That's you and your brand. I do not care. But you're associated with my event. So when you say that, it has effects. And I sent you that email. I have not publicly said anything about you.
Right.
At all. You dropped my name in your Twitter, my fucking name, my full name in your Twitter, and you're bashing my event, bro. And like that's where I'm having issue. So we're trying to figure out that. Like, you were a guest. You were invited as a guest. And things came out, and then people started having issues with certain parts of your content. I literally we were sending people messages like, oh, he's a good person, he took the video down, it's all good. Like, we were in good intention. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm not going to have any guests.
Yeah, it's the Camelot call, Vincent. Welcome aboard. Man, I'm I'm turning more and more against Cam as this goes on, because it sounds like he said something that started affecting their business in one way or the other, which is what happens when you bring on these type of creators. So you have to really look into who you want to bring on and how you want to do it. And they quietly sent him an email that says, hey, listen, I don't know if they spoke to him more about what the stuff was. The email was very vague or anything like that. And then he blew it up all over the internet to basically cause a problem and make up this cancel culture conspiracy. I don't, the more I hear this, the more I believe, like, and especially how wretched he's talking about, like, it makes me look like a bad person. They're going to think I'm a pedo. It's just, he's inflammatory for no other reason. Yes, for the victim clout. It's all the rage right now. We got Kirsche victim clouting. We got Chibi reviews, crying victim. I mean, the list goes on and on. I even heard Smash JT cry about getting hate threats today when he's been doing this for years.
That's controversial. That's not good for business. At the end of the day, like, that might be like what's good for your niche, but it's not good for ours, because we have to have everyone to come to our show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the caveat to that is you can Google every single guest you have that has any kind of following, and you can take an out of context thing they say or a screenshot from a post they had 5 years ago, and you could make them controversial, just like those people complaining made me controversial by taking, small clips where I said ass to mouth or something and getting me removed from a convention, right? You can do that to anybody you want. Like, so setting the precedent is, as soon as you let this happen, which has already happened, these people that did that were like, oh, if I ever have a problem with a guest ever, I can just go to their Twitter and find the first out of context thing and just get them removed from the content.
Is it out of context, though? What was said? The video has been taken down, so none of us can fucking litigate that. But what was actually fucking said or clipped out of context, right? This guy still had, no matter what it was, clipped out of context or not, the internet tends not to fucking care, and people tend not to care. And if it causes problems for this dude's business, he has to make a choice. Does he keep the guy who has the controversial clip and lose business, or is he going to be able to keep more of his business by letting the guy go? I really don't see what the big deal is with him getting sent away from this, other than to cry victim about it later.
Right?
No, I 100% agree with that, dude. But like, you literally posted something 2 days ago, fucking like talking mad shit about the cosplay community. Like, that's not the same thing, bro. Like, you're dropping the con that you're coming to, but you're bashing 30% of the people that are coming. And you justified it, and you were very, you kind of talked through it and all that, but that's what I'm saying. Yes, the other guests that are coming, like, you're right. I could probably go and dig through their stuff and find stuff, but we promoted you as a guest, and what happened was, like, our community was like, oh, who's this Cody person? And they went and looked at your stuff, and then they were like, the first couple of videos that they found were like super controversial, and they were like, holy shit, what the fuck? And again, it's not just like one person, bro. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. Like, I was keeping you coming. Like, it was all good. We were trying to put out the fires. And again, thank you for taking down that other video. But what you just said, you're like, oh, you can go find some dirt on anybody. It's not like go find dirt. It's like you literally just posted shit that our people are going and looking at because you were a guest.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason, man. And again, please understand, I don't give a fuck what you say, dude. You say whatever you want. I don't care. But it was negatively affecting our fucking event. And as a business, you got to understand that, bro. Like, as a business, it's an event. everyone comes to the event, not just one side or people that believe in one thing or one not another thing. It's everybody has to come, man. We have to sell tickets to everybody, buddy, and that's all it is, Cody. And if we're not going to be able to talk through it, I understand it. Again, I'm not telling you to anything about like what you do. Obviously, you are doing very well for yourself.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, Cody is just being fucking retarded. I mean, that's all there is to it. That's what I'm going to say. He understands that as a content creator, as someone with a crowd, that when he gets pulled into these events, when he's getting ready to go to these events, I understand why he's doing it, Vincent. He did it so that he could try and look tough in front of this little event manager and try and twist the things he's saying. Like you can hear the language he's using throughout the video on how bad it is on the other side over him getting clipped, is what he said. But even the guy, even the events guy said he needs good boy points, right? Even the events guy said that's not even the same thing. You made a tweet about 30% of the people who come to his event. Like, you're going to a game event, guess what's going to be there? Cosplayers. And if you make a blanket statement, and I'm guessing it's a fairly controversial blanket statement, right? Unless Cody's going to show us what he said and prove me wrong, prove anyone who's a skeptic wrong, then it was probably something that people didn't like. And the business caught flack for it. They caught flack because of what he said, because he is in their lineup. And it's their prerogative if they want to let him go because he makes retarded comments online prior to an event. I don't know. I'm less and less on Cody's side as this goes on.
And, that's why we wanted to have you on, man. Like, that's really why we wanted to have you on, is because, like, you do have a big following. You are in NASCAR. You are all these things that we wanted for the event.
Does he have a big following though? Like, what is Cam 33?
Again, no fucking hard feelings on my end at all. It is not personal at all, dude. I'm literally just saying I'm gonna lose my fucking house if I don't. I'm joking when I say that, but at the same time, I just want you to understand that, like, that's how serious it is. Like, I put everything into this. I'm a local guy, dude. Local to Raleigh. This is a local convention, and our sponsor's a local game store. Like, we don't have sponsors and people giving us money and stuff like that. So, and that's why I just want to talk to you man to man. And I get it, bro. If I'm not, obviously I can't make you do anything. And if you want, I really hate that we got to this point, but bro, I told Chase, I was like, let me at least talk to him, man. Like, I just want you to know where I'm coming from, and you can, obviously do whatever you want, Cody. And, like, I respect the fact that you do speak your mind and that you do all that. I'm just trying to like make sure that we can have a good event and that we can sell tickets, buddy. I mean, that's it, man.
Right. And I mean, you want to be all inclusive, but the issue that is the biggest issue is when you're trying to be all inclusive, you're intentionally exclusive to everybody that might believe or say a certain thing or maybe be.
No, it's not at all what he's fucking saying. He's saying if you say something fucking stupid, then we got to let you go, bud. If I go, if someone goes off, I'm not going to say me. If someone goes off and catches a fucking child sexual or CSAM charge, guess what? They're going to remove him from the event. because it looks bad for the event. If someone starts spouting off Lolicon arguments, then someone's probably going to cancel them from the event. Like, and if that gets out and blows up, then yeah, people are probably going to cancel them from the event. You said something stupid about a large group of the convention people, and they got mad, so they're going to let you go from the event. This isn't this guy's fault. This is your actions and him deciding to take it off. And now all you're doing is milking it for content because it doesn't look like any of your other videos are doing well.
Outspoken, or maybe just speak their mind. So it's not really all inclusive. It's just it's inclusive for the people that, like, you know, shut their mouth and toe the line. And that's where everybody's
No, you're so full of shit.
having an issue online, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I do look at it as a business. That's the first thing I look at it from a business standpoint. And I'm just telling you, this is.
Oh yeah, he definitely recorded it for the purpose of releasing it. He's making the inflamed comments and other things like that and trying to push this hard narratives. He's hoping this guy will say something woke.
It's not a good business move. You know what I'm saying? From my perspective, like, maybe like in the short term, like knee jerk area, it might seem beneficial. But from my experience, it's just, you know, to be labeled.
From your experiences, you going after the company that lets you go for your controversial tweets and bringing everyone in you can under the sun to do it. It's almost like a campaign.
As the only convention canceling people, like in 2025, in like the last decade, is like,
it's not fucking canceling. I fucking hate this term. It is not cancel culture. They're not trying to deplatform you. They're not trying to fucking go after your family. They're not going to your job and trying to get you fucking done. That's what cancel culture is. They're a company who's getting backlash for shit you said, and they don't want to be a part of it, which is in their fucking right. Jerking free. Does this guy have some allegations you haven't told me about, Kimoji? Knee jerking? Camelot would know a lot about jerking for sure.
I wouldn't want to have that title, is all I'm saying. And I want to reiterate that I'm not, you know, I'm not, you know, trying to be personal as well. Like, I'm not.
You are absolutely trying to be personal, you fucking wretch.
Pissed at you specifically. I'm not pissed at anybody, really. I'm just trying to figure out, like, why, and you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just.
You are in stream right now. Insane allegations. The expo who canceled me are exposed. Allegations, death, unreal, scorched earth. You are absolutely happy that this happened because you know you can milk it for content.
It's a lot of a weird, like, ironic stuff, and you know, I don't really know how to fix it other than like what I mentioned before, which I know is not even on the table, because again, like, once you start listening to like one cosplayer or something, there's nothing I can.
Did you say it was one cosplayer?
Do right, so
Yeah. No, dude, I mean, you're 100% right. Like, right? You can't. At the end of the day, like, you can't be all inclusive to everybody and promote it that way, because you're gonna get 50% of the people that are happy about it and 50% of the people that are fucking pissed off about it. So, I get it, bro. And so with that, I mean, look, man. With that being said, like, I mean. You can, you're gonna have that opinion, and I mean, I don't get you. I don't expect you to, like, get our or my respective of that, which you do, but you do make a good point. Like, obviously, you can't be all inclusive if, you know.
Sure, but you can expect the people that you invite to your event to not say shit that's going to inflame a third of the people who would come to your event, right? You could expect something like that. Like, I don't know why anyone would want a fucking NASCAR driver at a fucking gaming event. This guy doesn't seem like much of a geek to me. He just seems like a fucking culture war fucking slopper.
We're not accepting the opinions of this group, but we're accepting the opinions of this group.
Right, and I mean, and I don't mean to cut you off, but like, you can be all inclusive, and the way you be all inclusive is if you invite guests, they show up, and then they leave, right? But when you start being like, oh, this person doesn't like you, and this person doesn't like you, and this person, that means we have to cancel this person.
Okay, what do you do when a large content creator that's going to bring a huge, massive amount of people to the event decides that they are not going to go to the event anymore because so-and-so said something about cosplayers? And then what if that affects, say, 25% of that 30% of the people, and they don't come to pay money, right? Yeah. He worked at a GameStop that makes him a geek, clearly. Yeah, sure. It's you can expect your guests not to. He's a Timcast NASCAR driver. Yeah, okay, who gives a fuck? Timcast isn't a fucking gamer. I wouldn't invite him to, or Tim, whatever the fuck his name is, Tim Pool. He is. I wouldn't give a fuck if this guy was coming to my event. It's a surprise anyone invited him. They made a mistake by inviting him at all. But this is brain dead.
And now you're not suddenly not inclusive. The people that choose to not come because I may be there and I'm evil, they are choosing themselves to not participate. So it's
right, which could still hurt his business. And if everyone else dipped out, but you stuck to your guns on the one guy who made the controversial tweet, you lose. That's how business works. You lose.
it's not inclusive, right? It's the complete opposite of inclusive when you start removing people from your con, right?
Yeah.
You're just a fucking wretch. So, I don't even know what to say anymore.
Bro, you make a good point. I mean, I can't argue that, honestly.
Yeah.
You're right. You can't say you're all inclusive if you take one opinion over the other. I get that.
Yeah.
You're totally right. And again, I'm not here to debate like that at all.
No, so, I agree.
Well, listen, I'm not going to take any more of your time, man. I just wanted to call and kind of give you where I was coming from, as just, you know, why we did what we did, but I get it. Fuck, man, I don't know. I wish we didn't get to this point, but
no, dude, I completely agree. I think it would have been fine if we just did the convention and had a good time. But you know, I know, you know,
but no, dude, like it was gonna be cool. It was really gonna be cool. Like we had the racing section. Like I thought it was gonna be really cool to have a NASCAR driver there, and I get it. But but anyway, with that being said, man, I don't want to take any more of your time, brother, and you know, I wish we could have found a way to not get to this point, but I get it. And I get what you're saying. I completely understand your and respect your side. So,
yeah, you're making the wrong choice. I wouldn't respect his side, not with the way he's going about this.
I have to stand on my principles, or else I don't have shit, right?
Oh, you're fucking full of it. All right, I have to stand on my principles if I don't do shit. No, you could have just said, "All right, I said something controversial. I get it." And go from there. You can still stand by what you said, even though it got you cut from the convention. But what you did is cry woke and cry cancel culture, so that you could make a dozen videos on this to get a little bit of money from your dying channel.
Right. So, you know, like I'm kind of on the opposite end of it. I've experienced it, and I tell them to eat my ass because I just don't care. Because, you know, like I've been in the position where I almost lost my house last year over something similar, and I was like, I will either survive or die, but I'm not going to change what I do, like, to appease any one group of people, because in the end, I'm going to piss off everybody. So it doesn't really matter what I do.
Well, That is true. At the end of the day, bro, I mean, on a personal level, I get it. You're never going to please everybody. Everyone's always going to come at you. I know that firsthand. So I can respect that. And like I said, I can respect you for having that fortitude. And, yeah. So, shit, man. Well, thanks for talking to me and hearing me out. I wish that this could have happened a little differently. Like what I had in mind was going to be fucking pretty epic.
Yeah.
But I understand, and I understand where you're coming from, and I respect your position. And yeah, man. Hopefully, at some point, you know, we find ways to keep moving forward with our stuff. So, thanks for at least talking to me, bro.
All right, ain't no problem.
All right, man.
All right, buddy.
I'll touch you. All right.
So I want to say this. I do think this expo, the head of this expo, the owner, whoever he is, made the way he went about this was the wrong way. You know, it's something he should have probably brought up to Cody, whatever his name is, and maybe, hey man, can you like cut out that information or not say shit about a large portion of our audience that comes to these kind of events. But he kind of did a knee-jerk reaction and went with the flow, and now he's paying for it. But Cam is a absolute wretch in the way that he is going about this. He's just a bullshit controversy or culture war guy who will jump on any attempt to blow something out of proportions. Actually, want to
Fat chess. Who wants to do that? We're gonna do that at Sieg push-up competition. I
Let me
swear,
see.
if Retro Wolf beats me, I will be really upset. He's over here, bro.
Does he actually talk about the expo? Maybe.
See you. Bye.
All right. I'm gonna see if we can find anything interesting in here.
It says Camelot got thrown out of a burning building. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. Horowitz, Feinberg, and Horowitz. Thank you. It's going to get spicy. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate you. Orange Boy, proud. Thank you so much, Helena. That is true. That's what Derek Cuda says. Smokey One Kenobi says, big shout out to Steve Girl in the chat real quick. Says, in my local, Brett, get on it, doggone it. All right. So that being said, it is time to start the show. Irakias. So, as you know, we're going to give you the official and the unofficial. So here's the official. The official issue is I said something that can be problematic that pissed off some cosplayers that are going
What did you say? Just tell me what you said.
to a con. Therefore, they saw legitimate cause to remove me from said con after I had already paid and was invited to said con personally by the staff. Now, unfortunately for the staff, for some reason, they didn't research my channel beforehand, which is very strange to me because I am way less problematic now than I've ever been. You guys that have been here a long time, you know this. I'm pretty damn vanilla compared to what I used to be a couple years ago. You know,
Well, that just sounds like you jumped on that culture war train and now you're trying to be like the Asmongold's and everyone else that just cries about whatever woke topic or whatever dumb shit you can. So that's not unique. You're not doing anything special.
but apparently it was enough. Okay. So they didn't do the research. They ended up taking me out of the show. Now it's very, very obvious that it's politically charged. Now, look, we don't know for sure. Everything you're going to hear is alleged, but still, probably what happened was
It's only politically charged because he's making it politically charged. Nothing I heard in that first video was politically charged.
somebody opened my stream and saw the Trump meme intro, and they're like, absolutely not. I don't like Trump. And you're going
They specifically talked about a tweet you mentioned talking about cosplayers. So what did that tweet say?
to find out why that makes sense a lot tonight, because we're going to pull it all together in a tight, neat bow and shock the world, have you. So make sure you share this because we're about to get right into the sauce. So we're going to be focusing on a couple people that I was told allegedly were responsible for my removal from this expo. Now, also, I have to disclaimer this with it is alleged. I was told this by somebody who works inside the expo, but still, there is no official text message from one of these people to the owner saying remove this guy. Okay, so it is alleged until that moment comes. But this is what I was told from someone else that is directly involved. And once we go through all the evidence, I think you'll be able to conclusively agree that that is kind of what it looks like. So let's get on it, doggone it.
Okay. Maybe this will change my mind a little bit. Maybe he'll bring in the evidence, what he said, what these people said, and we can go from there.
Preach to the beaches. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And Daniel Robertson says, Greenville's a lot closer than Raleigh, so glad I didn't get tickets yet. Bet your ass I'm going to show up in July. Hell yeah. Thank you, man. I can't wait to see you there. Get the hell on it. Diggity doggone it. All right. Name them. We're getting there. All right. So without further ado, boys, without further ado, hopefully my monster gets delivered to me shortly because I need a little bit of a shot in the arm, you know what I'm saying? All right. So we're going to pull up and we're going to start with, I guess you probably won't think it's mild, but it's more mild than what we're going to get into at the very, very end because it's very long because a lot of this dates back many years. So we're going to go over all of it and I want you to come to your own conclusion and I'll give my take on them as well. Now, these allegations are levied from other people, from first or secondhand accounts for them personally. I am not involved. The point of this show is to show you that people that may have gotten me removed from the con may be guilty of some of the most heinous shit that you can imagine whilst I...
Holy fuck. Are we just going to go in and start, like, making allegations against these people? Smash responded to the Test 6 drama, by the way. He played smart and didn't engage. I mean, let me... Is it like through a tweet? He was one of the only ones that I hadn't seen actually mention it. Yeah, name them. Now we're getting, we're talking about something. Lots of folks have been asking me. Oh, here we go. Okay, he did. Lots of folks tagging me, asking my thoughts on this picture. So instead of responding to each individually, I'll just say it here. As far as I can tell, these employees are fantastic, talented, and have shown no signs of being wokies outside the obvious modern appearance. I think this here is an important moment to remember that we can't judge every book by its cover when it comes to game studios. During my time in the industry work at Sony, this was actually a normal style for many folks. It didn't necessarily mean that every single person with wacky colored hair and nose rings was a crazy lunatic wokie. In fact, I could even argue the Marxist co-opted that look and took it over. Similar to gays and the rainbow back in the 90s. Okay. How does it go? We'll get to that, Vince, when we go back to him. I just want to the TLDR. It's important to research the individuals before slamming them. There are not a lot of good people still in the industry. Not everyone there's still a lot of good people in the industry. Not everyone sucks. I am hopeful gaming gets back to the fun, relaxing counterculture of yesteryear, free of the political and activists using game as a Trojan horse for their rhetoric. I mean, he played this smart. Definitely played it smarter than anything. We'll see. Oh, hey, Dash Attack sucking up. The game is still woke. Angry Canadian. I don't know if you're still there, but nice. Yeah, that's a reasonable take. Constant testing and refining, committing the process. It doesn't happen quick. Great take. You were on the opposite side, Giga Bear, just a little while ago. This guy was in my chat arguing with a bunch of people. This guy's a retard. All right, so that's Smash's take on it. He actually saw it through the trees where a lot of the others, like Endymion and Grums and all them, just flat through it. Is it because he's being honest about this, or is it because he saw the direction it was going? I don't know. I'll give Smash the benefit of the doubt. This is a fairly good statement. Oh, goodness. Let's go back to Cam Girl right here.
Was removed for being too problematic with words. I probably should have had actions that were terrible and not words.
Words can be just as terrible. Why did Smash go there? It was good until he tried to talk about Marxist. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't throw that in there, then he's going to get backlash, but he's got to try and throw it in there. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
And I would have been let into the con, apparently, judging by what we're going to get into today. So let's dig deeper. TV. It would do a lot for my soul. My wife is Syrian. Can you please walk back the turn them into glass comment? What the hell are you talking about? Turn them into glass. Wait, did you just make me say that? Did you trick me just now? Turn them into glass. Turn them into glass. I don't think I've ever said turn them into glass. I don't know anything about Syria or glass. Jadine says losers hate people trying to do things. To heck with them. Keep on keeping on.
Okay.
Please say baby Jesus. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, Jadine, thank you. Appreciate you so much. Jadine for your orange boy one shot. Here we go. Meat Puppet. Welcome back, buddy, for the memberships, buddy. Thank you, dude. Appreciate you. We are almost halfway to Naked Snake now. Hell yeah. Thank you, Jadine. I love you. Says well. We're gonna start mild. Unless, look, guess what? Delivery has been made for the monster time. All right. What's up, Albatross? How you doing, buddy? Meat Puppet, it's your fault, bro. 56 months. Jesus, dude. Oh, Jays. Jays. All right. White Monster. Hell yeah.
His NPC talking points got you.
First,
a little bit.
Most everyone, let's get into the nasty sauce, and we're going to have a little bit of fun.
Listen, I want to think that Smash is dishonest just like the last guy. And yeah, he threw in the Marxist comments there. But he was at least not Grums just retweeting something. He at least seemed to look around and make his decision there. Now, whether it was because it was the popular decision or not, you know, that's up to whoever looks into it.
On with it. I do have to pull up screenshots because everything is getting deleted off the internet right now. So everything's going to be screenshot form because everyone's deleting shit as fast as they can freaking breathe. As you probably know already, the Gaming Geek Expo has removed their entire staff page from the website. Probably.
Why? Why do you think they would do that? Because they don't want their staff harassed? Okay.
For this reason, because they didn't want anybody looking into any of this.
No, they didn't want their fucking people doxxed like you threw the full name of the other guy out there.
Because as soon as they found out, oh shit, this guy like digs deep and investigates businesses and
I seriously doubt you do that, but let's stop pausing.
Oh fuck, they took all that off. No one researched what I literally was known for when I started YouTube. So we are back, and I am inspired and more passionate than I have ever been. So we're starting it today. Black Sheep, we support free speech. Raise hell, praise down. Hell yeah. All right. Oh yeah, Zenny, for sure. This is not the first time. This is not the first time.
We get to it.
Yes. John said they like I said in the last stream, I probably would have done the same thing. I would have probably removed that page. So, would you want people getting harassed because of your really dumbass mistake? Probably not. Right? Want
Okay.
people getting harassed because of your right, John? Would you want people getting harassed because of your really dumbass mistake? Probably not. Right?
So he's admitting it right here.
First and foremost, let's hop on because Hypnotic luckily filmed a video before all of this went down. So Hypnotic has
Why the fuck? This is the shit that I'm talking about. Why are you bringing all of these fucking people into it, right? We got full fucking names of these people. And yeah, it's not doxing because it was on the open fucking website. But you're still trying to make these guys' life a living hell because you feel, violated by getting canceled, quote unquote, from the show.
screens. So first
What a surprise that Hypnotic is the one doing the malicious shit.
things first. Let's jump right into the nasty, delicious sauce. Where's my screenshot at? Oh, all right. So first and foremost, this is the guy I talked to on the phone. Jeff, you guys already probably know that. This is Jeff's wife right here. I have no idea anything about Jeff's wife. Not involved at all, as far as I know. Maybe could be, maybe not. I don't really know. But today, in the first part of this show, we're going to focus on Madison Shelton. Madison Shelton, which I think she's a very, very pretty lady. And a lot of people were like, bro, what the hair color though is spooking me. Yeah, you have a right to be spooked by the hair color because there's some validity to this, maybe allegedly.
Where these people have gotten so fucking brain rotted over hair color that it means something. He better have some fucking big time allegations.
So, Madison Shelton was hired at the Gaming Geek Expo for the event director position. Now, you're thinking to yourself, what does this have to do with anything? Well, allegedly, actually, I should word that differently. I was told by somebody working within the actual expo itself that allegedly, Madison was not okay with me coming to this convention the day it was announced. Now, I could probably assume you know why. But that being said, let's dive into why. So immediately, defense from the guy I was talking to, or transparently, we had a very casual conversation about this. The word Nazi, Trump talking about politics, blah, blah, blah. Ass to mouth, that was one of them, was mentioned in this call. Madison was also mentioned in this call. And from what was explained to me, allegedly, Madison was threatening to quit if I was involved at all in this convention. Now, keep in mind, Madison does not know me at all. The only thing Madison knows about me is the fact that I have a Trump meme playing at the beginning of my show.
How do you know that? How do you know she doesn't know more about you? You're just assuming that and saying that to your audience. And I mean, sure, she has a right to not like you and not want to work with you, and she can quit if she wants to. So there's that. That's a beginning thing.
And maybe I say some spicy things off the cuff on a live stream. Now, as you well know, that is not allowed. You're not allowed to speak your mind, especially if your mind speaking aligns anyway, slightly lean right or further. So,
God, this guy's fucking... Oh. He's just your basic milquetoast fucking right SJW. Oh, you're not allowed to say anything. Where? When? You're allowed to say the stuff that you want to say, but if the convention doesn't want to be associated with someone who says it, they have what's called a right to do that. It's not against free speech. They can choose not to have you.
So you can guess what...
I hate these fucking tards who know nothing.
So you can see right here, that's who we're talking about today. So let's bring up the next point we're going to make to drive this point home.
you really haven't made a point yet besides what she doesn't want you at the show.
And let me hit these 2 super chats where they go. Aussie Avalon says the following is speculation or defamation. My statement today, explicit information provided to me, no disparagement or defamation is intended unless explicitly stated. Thank you. Intimidator says, glad to see. Also, DM Intimidator.
That's not how that works, but okay.
So let's bring up the next source of evidence based on why it looks like this could be happening. And before I do that, let me make sure. I'm looking at if there's anything incriminating on my part. There's not. Okay. All right, just making sure if there's anything incriminating on my part. I don't want to like release anything crazy. All right. So let's pull this up. So here we go. So we've covered Madison Shelton. So let's cover Madison Shelton's LinkedIn first and foremost. So as you can see, Madison Shelton's LinkedIn. She's the event director of the Gaming Geek Expo and the Employee Events. Okay. The Employee Events is a separate thing. I think it's her company, basically CEO and founder. Okay. Very attractive woman. So this is actually very shocking to me. No, that's a joke, everybody. Oh my God, I'm going to get arrested. Look at me. All right. So we're going to scroll down just a little bit and we're going to look at past job experience. And we get to past job experience. First and foremost, we're going to see partner event director of the Gaming Geek Expo. Raleigh Retro Gamers and Hidden Block Games are teaming up to bring you a massive gaming and geek expo at Raleigh Convention Center on June 7th and 8th. And
Okay.
guess what? I'm the event director for this incredible event. We've taken over 150,000 square foot packed with everything you love about gaming and geek culture. But for the love of God, do not believe wrong think. Tickets on sale, vendors booths coming soon. If you're a small business, game, dev, artist, or content creator, now's the time to get in. Unless you're me, then you are definitely not getting in. Want to host a panel or workshop? Reach out. Unless you're me, then you get reached out to and then fired before it even happens. So, what?
Oh, I see what they're going to say. Full-time DEIEE. That's what he's trying to go with. He's trying to use the DEI shit to say.
You guys don't see it? What are you guys talking about? Ah, shut up, bitches. You guys are just lying to me in the chat. Is what you're doing. All right. So let's scroll down a little bit more. So we're going to see Epic Games here. Epic Games. Yeah. So if you look at the most recent position from Epic Games, the position was DEI Access and Innovation. I think you can deduce immediately what has allegedly happened. Align it with a lot of the stuff
No, I think it's just inbreeding, honestly.
that's been told to me that allegedly happened. And I think we can come to what may have happened here, a very possible scenario. It is very, very...
So since he's fucking riding the line, I'm going to read this out here. So we've got employee engagement and experiences events for 2 years. A little over 2 years. Then she was an event coordinator for another 2 years. And then for March, April, May, June, for like 6 months, if that, she was a DEIEE Access and Innovation. 6 months. Okay.
understandable as to why somebody like this would, day one, during my announcement, be extremely pissed that I am coming.
Did they extremely pissed? You using bullshit fucking words to make it sound worse than it is. Was she extremely pissed? And let's also mention that this is a third party that told him that they heard that she allegedly didn't want him there.
Right? Because the only way to be inclusive is to exclude everyone that you disagree with.
This guy is a fucking parrot that just repeats at random DEI or anti-woke talking points.
So, that being said, this seems what may have happened. An alleged theory. Brotherly Bruh says, bring back the Fat Milk t-shirt so I can replace mine. Is it not on there? That's weird. Thank you, Brotherly. I appreciate you. Now let's take it a step further, boys. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I should probably hold that up there a little bit more and kiss you. $20 is a freaking huge drop, man. I appreciate you. I felt like I closed it way too soon and I didn't kiss the mic enough for you. Love you. Thank you, buddy. All right. So we're going to take it a little step further. Now, I have to put this out there. Now, if we look at this a little bit deeper, we'll see this post. Where is it at? There's a post on here somewhere. It's somewhere on here. And it talks about her being laid off from Epic Games. Where is it at? This is 1 week ago. We're going to have to try a little harder here. Where is it at? See all featured items. All right. So here we go down here. We're scroll down a little bit. I've sadly been laid off at Epic Games today. So
Okay, hold on. I have sadly been one of the 16% that have been laid off here at the Epic Games today. I'm so grateful for my time here. Please let me know of any culture or people team opportunities. Okay, so she was part of a 16% layoff.
a little bit. I've sadly been laid off at Epic Games today. So she was laid off from Epic Games, the DEI department, and then was hired to run the event, be the event coordinator at the Game and Geek Expo.
Yeah, well, she has like a lot of experience in running events.
Now, there is a very, very common theme. People that find themselves DEI experts, okay, find themselves being laid off or leaving a company because it's gone under and hopping with their resume into another.
Wait, has Epic gone under? Because this is just made up gobbledygook. They laid off 16% of people, sure. She was in a DEI organization for our DEI portion of the company for however many months. She was also an event coordinator. You're just this fucking dude.
Another position of similar caliber and then destroying that event immediately after.
And we're just assuming and laying fucking plots that she's the one that destroyed the event. So we're just absolutely being bad faith. Yeah, Epic has not gone under. Fortnite makes them billions. They're talking about like it's just a small portion, of her little section that was this 16%, right?
Strange to me why people.
Let's see here. Hold on. Epic layoffs. Unreal Engine maker lays off 16% of staff. It cuts about 800 jobs. So, like, were there 800 DEI people? One department gets laid off. Epic is dying. Yeah, absolutely. Epic's Games employees impacted by the layoffs will get 6 months of severance and health benefits, Sweeney wrote. The company is expected. This is Polygon, so take that for what it's worth. Epic Games is valued at $31.5 billion. Yeah, definitely going under. Fortnite alone generates billions of revenue each year and is growing again. Sweeney said this makes the Cary, North Carolina-based company one of the largest privately owned video game companies. Chinese tech conglomerate Tencent has owned 40% of Epic since 2012. That sucks. When it paid blah, 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 blah. While Fortnite is starting to grow again, the growth is driven primarily by creator content with significant revenue sharing, and this is a lower margin for business. Sweeney noted that 2/3 of the cuts were outside of core development, so they got rid of things that weren't core development. Doesn't even say that they got rid of DEI departments, right? It just says they got rid of some jobs in non-core developments. Epic Games will continue to hire, and no other layoffs are expected. Epic Games also addresses the ongoing legal battle with Apple. So yeah, they're in a legal battle. So already he's just disingenuous in the way he's pronouncing her exit. So, according to him, 830 people got.
Doing this and hiring. I know for a fact if I'm a hiring manager and I see past job DEI, lead of DEI, my happy ass is throwing that shit in the trash so fast I can't even see straight.
Well, that's because you're an absolute retard who probably has gotten hit in the head too many times when you wreck that fucking car.
Because I know immediately what that means. It means extremely, extremely toxic person.
No, it doesn't. You fucking moron. It's a department that they worked in. I bet she did stuff based around events because that seems to be her job all the way through until that last couple of months.
Look, I'm speaking generally, of course. Of course I am. Speaking generally, sure, there are outliers.
He needs to hire non-DEI top-of-the-line employees like the manager Grums. Yeah, Grums is doing so well with that.
People in these positions that are probably totally cool people. I've met a couple of them, to be fair. But that being said, generally speaking, your entire point is to disrupt the workforce. How this
disrupt the workforce. Listen, I've got my problems with the idea of DEI hiring thing. I believe there are, even if the perception of it is overblown, there is some problems that come along with choosing diversity over skill, right? That doesn't mean you can't have some kind of diversity department. This has been a thing in companies long before DEI was the word used, right? So you can have your issues with it, but this absolute fucking wretched idea that every single person that's ever worn, accessibility is the best thing for it, is some wretched little fucking trans who's trying to take over the industry is just dumb. These people have no idea. They're just fucking morons.
became a thing, blows my ass out the water. But that's neither here nor there. We want you to come in and fire people based on the race and hire
You just need to go talk back to reading Reddit fucking posts, dude, and driving your little car.
people based on the race. Yeah, good luck for that ever not being a problem in the future, right? You may disagree or agree with.
I mean, it hasn't, like, it's had its issues, and it's always in the mainstream light because it's an easy target to go after. But businesses have been running with these programs for decades.
That kind of thing. I personally don't think it's right. I think merit-based hiring is what should actually be what we strive for. So
Well, it's not always about the hiring. And yes, I agree, merit-based hiring, I think, is the better way. But DEI doesn't always mean that the company is not hiring based off of merit-based hiring.
can have better, better infrastructure, better everything, But I think it's inherently bad to judge people for the color of their skin and not the content of their character. I think it goes completely against one.
I have my problems with anti-DEI, but when it comes to like CDPR, giving women time off for their period, I mean, women get a lot of time off already, so yeah, some of it's ridiculous. I agree. Some of it can be over the top. That's a benefit for every man of the company, in my opinion. I guess you're not wrong. I mean, some of the things I think are over the top, right? There's stuff that gets pushed that's over the top, and most of that doesn't spread to other companies, and it gets shut down around the thing because it's not really that big a deal, right? There's even been things with these DEI stuff that it helps the men. Like, one thing that's come out of like that kind of diversity thing and stuff like that is male time off for kids, like a male maternity leave, right? That's a DEI fucking feature. Like, hey, men deserve to spend some time at home with their kids. We don't get as much as women, but there are companies who will give quite a bit of time paid.
One of, the people that I admire in history, Martin Luther King Jr.
Plain enough, he is showing meritocracy. Doesn't work because he is disregarding the person's resume because he thinks they're woke. Yeah, exactly. He's not letting it go by their actual skills. he is using the very same argument that when he sees DEI, it means they can't possibly be the best event coordinator.
Which said
That's a very good point, Kamoji.
that exact thing. You judge people by the content of the character, not the color of their skin. But somehow, 30 to 50 years later now, 60, fuck, it's been a while, hasn't it? Suddenly, this further later in life, in history, this is the complete opposite, right? It is weird. It is very, very weird.
It has, okay. This fucking dude. Diversity and inclusion started with the Civil fucking Rights Act in 1964. That's when a lot of this stuff started. 1964. This is not a new concept. I mean, if you want to say 50 or so years, but 50 or so years ago, you couldn't get a job because of the fucking color of your skin, right? So I think this was a net positive. While it has issues, while, you know, you can get into the problems that happen. When was it first implemented? The first one, 1960s, DI timeline. I mean, this is, 1940s and 50s laid the groundwork, and then 1964 is when it first started. So we started fighting for this a while back in the 40s, because you weren't allowed to work by the character and merit of yourself. You were chosen for the job based off the color of your fucking skin. That's why we had that big fucking movement. Like I said, there's still issues with it. You know, you can get into some of the ridiculous things, and you can get into some of the crazy DEI stuff that happened over the last, 10 or so years. But his idea that it was better in the 40s when blacks couldn't work is brain dead.
Weird. Oh, yeah. All right, boys. All right. These people are cancer on society, Zachary says. All right. So let's continue. Luna says it means that she's a fake targeted person that whines. Even my favorite trans actress isn't fake at all, and she's the most sassy person I've ever seen. She got recently anime role. Hell yeah, dude. What's up? Yeah, no, people belong to all these groups that are great people. It's the outliers, which seems to be like a large percent of people, because they all belong to the same.
How could they be outliers in the fucking largest amount of people? How does that make any fucking sense? Like, think about the words that are coming out of your fucking mouth. Right now, you've only showed me one person who has done this, and occasionally you see some wretched person like that fucking Weeks guy who said he wanted to only raise black people up to write stories for him from now on, right? The cases of people who make these fucking talking points are rare. It's like talking to a schizophrenic. It is like talking to a schizophrenic. I'd rather talk to one than this guy. The current brain-dead wave of anti-racism DEI was pushed by a company with a very shady past with research papers. The current brain-dead wave of anti-racism DEI. You'll have to send me some stuff on that, and I'll have to check it out.
Right? I know tons of cosplayers. I know a lot of more. I know way more cosplayers than I probably should. I'm gonna be honest. What's up? You know what I'm saying? And they're all cool as fuck. All of them are cool as hell. They're laid
Then why make this supposed comment about them?
back. They're cool as hell. But for some reason, and I should say all groups, all walks of life. I've met people from every walk of life that's cool as hell. But for some reason, when somebody's tripping balls on social media or behind the scenes whispering to somebody about some bullshit, they happen to fall into these groups. Why? I can't really tell you. What I would probably explain to you is it's the false sense of power and fulfillment when you are able to control somebody's outcome or their life by the click of a mouse because it's.
Or she just didn't like something you said, right? It's not a fucking power trip. She may. So far, this is all fucking speculation right now. He hasn't shown me anything that shows that this woman was the reason that he wasn't allowed to go on, or what problem she has with him. You know, he just assumes that because there was a Trump thing that's why. He's just making sweeping random assumptions like the retard he is, instead of saying, hey, this is the evidence. All you're doing is making parroted anti-woke talking points and culture war talking points and sweeping wide on groups, while at the same time saying they're outliers, or when one person does it, they're usually from this group.
It's your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have complete power over getting someone fired at any point.
You weren't fired. Were you getting paid for this event? Because my understanding was you were paying for the booth, and then they decided to let you go after that. Did they pay you back the money? Right? The guy said he was talking about paying stuff back, so it wasn't like he was trying to keep your money.
Point at any reason through Whisper Networks. And that's what
Whisper Networks.
Forward. Thank you, FYI. I made a post about this and posted it on my YouTube. NX Project Constitution. Thank you, buddy. Send it to me in DM so I can check it out, buddy. Thank you, dude. Project
I'm pretty sure.
With the $10 super chat. I love you. I appreciate you. Oh my God. It's always the bad apples ruining the bunch. And that is true. It is really, really true. So thank you so much. I agree, Boosh. Completely agree with you on that. Cosplayers aren't real fans. Well, it depends. It depends, you know.
I walked that one back pretty quick.
So let's continue. Not entirely true. If you count the walls of several racetracks, GameStops, then you might be down. I try to not take anybody down with me. It's not always successful. All right. DEI, remove titties. Yeah, what the hell? All right. Anyways, let's continue. So now we have I think a reasonable avenue to kind of predict the alleged theory here.
We don't have a reasonable avenue. You've made a bunch of sweeping statements about nobody pretty much, and use the word DEI to fucking poison the well on this girl before you start bringing up the supposed evidence.
That this is something that could have definitely happened behind the scenes through Whisper Network.
So now it could have definitely happened versus this is what allegedly happened.
I know I was told it allegedly happened, and it was this individual that kind of started the whole bunch. But obviously, when one person starts talking and they're not getting their way immediately, they start telling everyone around them. And we're going to move on to the next person. And this
is that all the fucking evidence you have on her? Is there not more? That she worked for 6 months in a DEI project and has 6 years working events? And that some dude told you she didn't like you?
Yes, I got to put a disclaimer here, guys. This is going to be some crazy shit that you're about to hear. But we're going to go through it, and I hope you keep your head on your shoulders. I also want to put this out there. I do not condone any harassment. I do not condone anyone going and messaging anybody or anything. The only thing I do condone is you retweeting or liking in support and standing alongside me and others who have experienced similar situations. Don't go after people.
Who is the last person to be canceled from an event like this in the last fucking 5 years? I haven't heard of this shit happening in a long time.
Lame. That's kind of gay. Let's keep it straight up in this bitch, which is very rare for me. No. All right. Let's jump right into this. I'm hedging. Just put it. All right, Adam, calm down. All right.
Nothing burger. Yeah, that's what it's starting to sound like, is a nothing burger.
So, this is gonna be rough. What's up? What's up, Vera? How you doing, baby? All right.
Oh God,
100%
Vera.
Petra Wolf. All right. So, I'm gonna pull up something. I will not be sharing this on my screen, because it's too much information to share on the screen.
Well, that's convenient.
But I will share the picture, and then we're going to go through several things.
The lady who can't figure out how glasses work. She just has like the weirdest resting bitch face of all times. Like I don't know. I can't watch her videos because it's just uncanny.
Leading up to this point. So, yeah. So who do we need to harass? My balls. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Flukes? How you doing, baby? I will not be showing up as a furry Trump one. My first on it. All right. I almost shared the thing I did not want to share. So we're gonna share this though. Wait, I don't have it pulled up. Hold on. We got to get everything straight. We got to be very, very careful about what we share here. Oh, there it is. We're going to share this. We need on to the next part of the show. Make sure you like the show. So the next person we're going to talk to is Cheeky cosplay show organizer at the Gaming Geek Expo.
Okay.
I was told from behind the
I hope this one is better because the last one was bullshit. Was fucking nothing. The lady that can't figure out how glasses work, not gonna lie, the way she talks, I thought she was was a TTS at first. That's funny. James Damore is the last one I remember.
scenes that another person that allegedly was not happy about me coming. It was stirring up a lot of shit within fellow cosplayers and small like group chats to create some kind of.
So again, we're at a third party saying that this is what happened, and they're stirring up stuff.
You could say force to push Jeff to remove me from the conference. And one of those people allegedly is Cheeky Cosplay. So here's our two people. I remember I told you day one that it was one or two people. Well, allegedly, this is the information that keeps coming through. So we're going to move and we're going to kind of run with that. Of course, disclaimer, don't know if this is entirely true. These are theories, and that's how we're playing them out. Now, Cheeky Cosplay has a very long history. Cheeky Cosplay has been around the game for a long, long time. And I mean a very, very long time. Cheeky Cosplay has done a lot of things in her life. And Cheeky Cosplay has been involved in so many bullying, harassment campaigns that have led to the most unbelievable things.
I'm sure he's going to show all this.
And we're going to cover that today. All these things are alleged. These things are from first to secondhand accounts from people that know this.
How are you going to tell me you're going to show these things and then say that these are first and secondhand accounts of people saying things? Like, if
to see the people involved directly or know of the people directly involved. And we're going to go through it. We're going to start now. Now, I'm going to be jumping around a little bit because there is so much information. So bear with me. Jadine, the problem is you're too much of a dude. She's crazy. Too many SSRI. Oh my gosh, Jadine, you're going for the jugular today. Too many SSRI. Oh my gosh, super chat made me laugh. God says, oh fuck, it's funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. It was a funny one. Thank you, Jadine. I love you. Alleged information. Allegedly that I allegedly got. Allegedly. All right. That's for damn sure, Zeno. What's up? All right. Now, let's start. All right. So Cheeky has been a cosplayer, allegedly. No, she's definitely a cosplayer.
I'm lost in the sauce. What did these people do? Cool story, bro. Used as evidence. Yeah. So far, I have the first one worked for a DEI company or a DEI department for 6 months in Epic. And when Epic reduced their non-core elements, she was part of that small group. So there's that one. And allegedly from someone inside the company, she didn't like him. And he thinks it's for his Trump something or other video. Then with nothing shown, I have no evidence other than his word on this. The next one is Cheeky Cosplay. The only socials I can find for them are Facebook and oh, there we go. Hold on. X. Their posts are protected. That doesn't surprise me. This person apparently has been in the thing and part of a bunch of harassment campaigns. They have 330 followers on X and like 3,000 followers on Instagram. This person's a nobody. They just happen to work as the cosplay, the cause contest coordinator or something like that. So that's the evidence we've been given so far by Crash's Camelot.
And kind of describes yourself as the best cosplayer in the North Carolina area. Okay. This is very, very interesting stuff. People say she seems nice up front. They say her costumes are iffy. But she has a very, very decorated story behind her. Okay. People.
I'm guessing this is the one that's got all the meat because he's going to pull up all of the stuff that she's done that was so horrible.
Have different quotes about meeting Cheeky and saying stuff like, she thinks she's hot shit, always shoves herself front and center when cosplay groups, bullies other people into submission, wannabe alpha cosplay girl shit, always talks crap about all of her friends when they're not around, which, let's be fair, that's more common than just one cosplay. That's like 50% of women. Like, that's what they do. Look, you got to learn how to get with the program. Look, ain't nothing wrong with that. What are they going to do? Fight you? They can't fight you. They can't physically fight you. They got to do something.
Yeah. Yep. I was just about to say it. Literally girl talk and gossip. Like, did you know that she's a bitch? Yeah, she's like a real bitch. We don't like her. Hey, Cheeky, how you doing?
People have said if you look better than her or you're a better cosplayer, you're going to be on the list of her going after you. People say that when they see her in person, they're nice to her because she treats people very, very differently when they're on her bad side. She becomes a malicious stalker. She will shit talk you everywhere. And she will she runs a chapter of different cosplay girls, runs different groups, kind of like Discord mods, you know what I'm saying? There was one person that said they were interested in joining, but then found out they had to go through her, and they changed their mind in a hurry.
Wow, that was a whole lot of fucking nothing.
It's going to be very, very interesting. So we're gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up different pictures just so you guys can like get an idea of what's going on. And yeah, we'll keep going here.
I'm putting this on 1.5.
She once asked one of my friends. Okay, she once asked one of my friends something, and let's see what that something is.
I mean, that's where he got all of his videos from, like his intense research that he did on companies. This is it, bud. Intense research.
Where's that? Hold on. So here's a picture of Cheeky Cosplay. Says she once asked one of my friends
who's an amazing cosplayer, to do a duo group cosplay with her and enter a contest. When they didn't win, she basically said, well, fuck off, you weren't worth my time at all, which seems to be commonplace. It's all about winning. It's all about being front and center. After a lot of this started happening, she managed to drive away all of her friends with drama, and it was like watching a mass exodus. She surrounds herself with a new batch of people and then starts up a new batch of drama. Not to mention, she's extremely unprofessional, and she goes after people under the guise of moral.
How does she go after him? What does she do? Do we have like? There's got to be something, right? We're in the age of the internet. When you go after people, there's usually some kind of record, right? Can I see a tweet where she's talking shit on somebody? Can I see like a text message that she sent to somebody talking about someone else? Like, so far, this is all. It's not even good gossip. Like, it's just fucking lame.
Values in order to cancel them, which is a joke in the damn first place. It just really, really is. And we're going to continue. We're going to keep switching. We're going to keep switching between pictures, you know, to keep this shit going. Is that her? This one looks much better. It looks way better than this. All right. People are shocked that there's this much drama about her. Anyone
I'm shocked that you're shocked.
who was at CosCom forums at Animazement 2007 would remember the post about a young man who went missing after his encounter with Cheeky Cosplay. And yes, this actually happened, allegedly. I mean, the guy definitely was missing, but I don't know. How do you word this? Is Aussie still in here? I'm starting to get a little nervous, but okay. Anyways, let's continue with this. Let's continue with this, and we'll pull up some other. Oh, the video's gone. Damn, there's a video of her talking, and the video seems to have taken down. Is that her? I don't know what this is. All right, sorry. I'm just looking at stuff. All right, let's continue. Guys, I'm scared someone hold me. Yeah, dude, me too. Same. All right. Boosh, I love you, dude. Appreciate you, buddy. Vesper.
Okay. Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey, Mr. Camelot. Just wanted to say thank you for being my hero. Oh, I just got discharged from the hospital for trying to. I will one day chase my dreams as you have.
Yeah, I'm with you, Vincent. Without some kind of evidence that this happened, this is just gossip talk. You know, for any fucking reason. Oh, whoops. Where was? Okay, we already did all that. We were on. I just look how long it takes him to get to fucking nothing.
Kind of worried. All right, I'm trying to be very careful with what I pull up here. All right, so let's continue with this story. So there's a man named Michael McKeithen. This man named Michael McKeithen had been flirty with Cheeky Cosplay. They flirted for a while, and it was only when people started teasing her for a drunken hookup that she got embarrassed about this flirting. What did she do as a result of the embarrassment after the hookup? Very, very interesting. You can kind of see where we're going.
Dude, are we litigating a bad date?
Okay. That means
What the fuck?
the guy went missing after this moment.
The guy went missing?
McKeithen. Okay. And I will tell you why he went missing. He went missing because Cheeky Cosplay, who had been flirting with Mr. McKeithen, after bullying from friends that she had hooked up with said guy, allegedly.
Good night, Vince.
That he raped her.
I'm not far behind you.
After this happened, and after the fallout of the raping, Mr. McKeithen went missing. We're going to cover that shortly. A few years later, she pretended to get pregnant and have an abortion to get back at the guy she was dating at this time. She claimed that she drove an hour and a half to an abortion clinic alone, and that the woman just felt so sorry for her that she gave her the in-clinic procedure for free and didn't file any paperwork so her parents wouldn't find out. And then she said the nice lady just let her drive home by herself. That doesn't happen for liability reasons. So it looks like probably a lie. Probably a lie.
This is just holy shit. This is just fucking retarded. This is just nothing. Oh, dear Lord Jesus.
It's not PC, bro. It's not PC. Hope everybody in the chat's paying attention. Several allegations came out, probably during and following this. This is average cosplay. That she did not make her own costumes, which is apparently a big deal in the cosplay community. The costumes apparently belonged to her friends. The scouts were collaborations, and leotards were last-minute favors from conventions she's going to. She would then proceed to treat the people that gave her the costumes like shit, cut them out of her life. And now, because they're not friends, she doesn't credit any of their work on her page. This girl did a lot more than just these costumes for Cheeky. She had her costumes for, did a lot of construction work, and her costumes, while Cheeky would do the bias tape and finish up, she would make the aprons, the patterns, and not to mention all the time Cheeky wore her costumes to convention and let this girl pay for travel and badges. It's crazy shit, man. She also gets extremely furious whenever one of her friends wants to do any of the same costumes as her. She made some big drama post on Tumblr when she was trying to get Sucker Punch groups together, and someone else wanted to do Baby Doll. Also, she takes pride. Okay, she takes pride in the fact that she's been sewing for 13 years and refuses advice because her mom works for the opera or something. Even though she still has no idea how to make things look good on her. All right, let's continue. Cancel my ban me. Help me, somebody. Help me, somebody. What's up, Quarks Clock? How you doing? Vinley says so many cosplayers have warned against her. Apparently, she's notorious, and this is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's continue. Sorry, guys. There's so much info to go through, so I'm making sure I get it right. Beep, 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 beep. Ooh, what is this? What is this? Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at stuff. What is this? Damn it, man. What is this? Sorry, guys. All right. I'm just, there's random links, and I don't want to do anything crazy. What is this garbage? What is this garbage? I don't know what that is. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm getting caught up in stuff here. Someone else claims that their friend group slightly rubs elbows with hers. One of my friends is dating one of her friends, and from what I've seen, she does nothing but start shit. She's an absolute business.
Jesus Christ.
Not only that, but she will do anything for attention. Everything she does can be traced back to her trying to fill the hole.
Look at my lawyer dog. I'm going to jail.
Pretty brutal on this one quote. Sorry, guys. She's rude to everyone, literally everywhere, even her friends. She can't even make an attempt.
He said this stuff was supposed to get worse. Like the first one was like absolutely nothing, and this is just girl gossip.
To be polite to, which is weird. You think she'd be like super hot, right? Now there are other people on the other side of it. Some people say they've roomed with her before, and she seems like a nice, normal girl. So,
oh, how about that? So now we're just at he said, she said.
That could be cheeky. I don't know. She's very small time, but the reason people are making such a fuss about her is that she is one of the most elitist, self-centered, hateful people in the entire community. People are afraid.
Wow, that was a small comment. Some people have said she might be nice people, and then this fucking shit.
To be on her bad side because how she treats people she used to call her friends not too long ago. She got into a verbal argument with her best friend of 10 years who was down to visit for a con, and she kicked her out of her apartment. Now, keep in mind, this friend of hers has put up with her bullshit the longest, was the most patient and accepting person Cheeky has ever had in her life. She had supported Cheeky when no one else wanted anything to do with her and was always there to talk her through some horrible emotional breakdowns. Now, this girl was 1,000 miles from home, though, had no car, no place to stay, and no close friends. It was only because the other people knew Cheeky and knew the situation and were nice enough to take her in until her flight 3 days later. You don't do that to friends, no matter how heated the verbal argument gets. If she's willing to do something like that to her so-called best friend, you can only imagine what she'd do to everybody else. She feels like everyone is disposable, and once she has done any of these horrible things to you, burns the bridges, she comes back several months later with a backhanded apology, saying something like, I don't know what happened, let's be friends again, and some unfortunate saps fall for it and get sucked back into the same hateful circle of drama. The same hateful circle of drama. Now, let's back up a little bit, allegedly. Let's allegedly back up. What's up, Chase on the Dome? Hey, Cody, man, it's cover still. Use code Chase20 for 20% off VIP tickets with love. Is that for, yeah, I'm guessing that's the Gaming Geek Expo. Thank you, Chase. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, dude. The one guy still nice to me out of the whole situation. Love you. He was the one true blue. I appreciate you, buddy. All right. He knows that. She probably wants to have a bedroom with you, but she knows she has no chance, Jadine. No chance. Thank you, Jadine.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Rob. Barb. Appreciate you. Mint says, keep shining a light in the darkness, Cody. Thank you. Appreciate you, Mint. Love you. All right.
I don't know that I'm going to make it much farther in this.
Get a little dark here for a moment, guys. So we're going to back up a second. We're going to talk about Michael McKeithen. So Michael McKeithen was a young man who knew Cheeky. Okay. Cheeky had a relationship with Michael McKeithen. They had been flirty for a while. Friendly, flirty, what have you. And then, of course, they hooked up. Well, Cheeky was bullied about this hookup.
He yaps a lot.
Being bullied by her friends. Cheeky does not like to get bullied. Cheeky likes to be the center of attention, allegedly. So Cheeky claims to all of her friends, and keep in mind when you're in a friend group, especially if you're in college, you're a young person, you're a teenager, you're in your early 20s, and you do things like this, it gets really bad. So Cheeky claimed that allegedly Michael McKeithen had raped her against her will. Now, of course, this destroyed Michael McKeithen's reputation.
Can we see this? This is a fucking pretty hard allegation that you're making right here. Can we see this?
Everybody wanted him dead. Graping is probably one of the worst things you can do to somebody legitimately. Like if you legitimately did that to somebody, you should be put under the jail, in my opinion.
You're raping my ears with the amount you fucking yap. Again, do you have more substance than just saying that she did this?
So, of course, everybody's mad at Michael McKeithen. Unfortunately, they did not understand what was going on emotionally and mentally in the mind of Michael McKeithen. So allegedly, Michael McKeithen drove to an empty lot and Michael McKeithen put a gun in his mouth. And he ended his life as a result of this harassment.
Are you fucking telling me that you are saying that she caused the fucking death of a guy with no fucking evidence online that she's done any of this? You're just going to flat out say that this happened based off of gossip from other fucking people and put that out online?
Being falsely accused
He better come up with fucking something real quick.
of grape. After this happened, Cheeky, from what I have read, allegedly there was an investigation launched. Cheeky then claimed that she had never made those allegations and they weren't serious. This is Michael McKeithen's obituary. Says Michael
They didn't just pull up his fucking obituary.
born in New Hanover County on September 1988 and was the son of Robert and Jennifer. He was recognized by the title of McKeithen in high school and college, but also known as Michael by many and Corey by family and long-term friends. He graduated with honors in 2006 from South Brunswick High School and was attending UNC Asheville. He was highly accomplished in multitudes of ventures academically and socially and was never found a challenge too great. Life was short and a grand adventure. Survivors, in addition to his parents, include his grandmother and others. A memorial service will be held June 3rd, 2017.
Thank you for putting all of those fucking people's names and addresses and phone numbers and all that shit online. Really appreciate that, you fucking freak.
Again, everything you've just heard is alleged. Everything you've just heard.
Hey, guess what? Alleged doesn't fucking protect you from defamation if you make wild fucking accusations like she caused this dude suicide with no fucking evidence that it happened.
Is first and second hand accounts from people that were directly involved or
First and second hand accounts. Fucking kidding me right now.
had heard or were friends or in the friend group of these certain things. Now, a lot of people that were in these friend groups have reached out to me personally to give me their sides of the story, which I will have at a later date when I get them actually nicely knit in a nice knit package to deliver to you so they're digestible. So long story short, Cheeky Cosplay, who is, by the way, the cosplay show organizer at the convention that I was just canceled from.
By the way, none of this has anything to fucking do with him getting canceled from the project. This is just someone that allegedly might have at some point said something about him being at the cosplay. And he's going to assume off of third-party fucking allegations that this woman did it because she has a past where she allegedly accused the guy of fucking rape and caused, she's very much saying that he thinks she caused this guy to commit suicide.
Who I was told, allegedly, did not want me there because I am too problematic. Words that I have heard from behind the scenes are words like conservative, Trump, Nazi, stuff like that. Allegedly. This person, allegedly.
You say allegedly all you want. It's not the legal protection you think it is.
A very, very vindictive person, obsessed with attention, a violent narcissist, and even allegedly cried grape, ending in the unfortunate self-deletion of one Michael McKeithen, which is a heartbreaking story, a very, very heartbreaking story. Now you ask yourself, okay, if you ask yourself,
Okay.
He's highly accomplished in multitudes of ventures, academically and socially, almost never. Who his parents include his 17. Is first and second hand accounts from people that were directly involved or had heard or were willing to give me their sides of the story, which I will have at a later date when I get them actually nicely knit in a nice knit package to deliver to you so they're digestible. So long story short, Cheeky Cosplay, who is, by the way, the cosplay show organizer at the convention that I was just canceled from, who I was told allegedly did not want me there because I am too problematic. Words that I have heard from behind the scenes are words like conservative, Trump, Nazi, stuff like that. Allegedly. This person, allegedly, is a very, very, very vindictive person, obsessed with attention, a violent narcissist, and even allegedly cried grape, ending in the unfortunate self-deletion of one Michael McKeithen, which is a heartbreaking story. A very, very
That is
now you ask yourself, okay,
absolutely fucking sickening to hear him say this shit off of the back of fucking nothing over him getting fucking let go of a convention for some dumb fucking words he took. You have no, maybe she did. Maybe this fucking chick is a wretched bitch who did this, but you're going to bring it up online in front of your, well, like 1,000 people who are watching around this time and make accusations like this. And you don't even know that she's the one that fucking talked about you. You're just assuming it based off of some third party that told you this. Would saying allegedly too many times be considered a malicious way to defame someone? No, but I don't think it would. But it's also not a protection, right? You just saying allegedly and still saying the comment in a believable way, because he's definitely trying to spread it like she did this, right? Allegedly only goes so far. Will there be a defamation case? I don't know, but this is absolutely fucking wretched from this little fucking freak who's crying that someone didn't want him to come sit at one of their fucking booths. He's a waste of fucking space.
ask yourself this. If you are going through your life and you're treating people terribly, and someone dies as a result of your bullying, wouldn't you look in the mirror right then and stop what you're doing? Change your ways? Understand that what you're doing is hurting.
Oh, now he's gonna fucking moral frog. All right.
Not just
All right. I can't do this. I gotta fucking step away from this shit for a minute. This guy's done pissed me off. Because that's absolutely fucking wretched behavior. All right, so I'm going to call it a night for tonight. It's already past midnight anyways, and this guy was saying a whole bunch of nothing until that fucking comment. So you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming by. I'm not going to be on this Friday. We're getting closer to my daughter's dance recital, so she has more dances that she has to go to. But I will be back on Saturday, hopefully with some subjects to talk about. Or if not, we'll play some games. So y'all have a good day, guys.